Hey guys, good afternoon and welcome to today's YouTube live conversation with me. My name is Gloria Elijah and this is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. I call myself the girl with the T and today's conversation is actually quite triggering. My most recent video is about this particular issue and the issue is still ongoing. I am still following up with the story and guys, it's really aggravated. There are a lot of things that you're hearing and you're just very pissed off. So, what I have done today is to gather up all the footages that I can get. And I'm going to be playing out all of them with regards to this case. And we're going to be having a very extensive conversation about it all right. We're going to be talking about the girls. We're going to be talking about the Ceemore himself. We're going to be talking about the Blackbox Night Club, as well as the owner himself. And then we're also going to talk about the role of the court and the role of the Nigerian police, because there's just a lot going on behind the scenes. And listening to all sides, guys, this matter really calls for a lot of attention. All right, so we're going to have this proper conversation. As you almost have seen from the title of this video, I had to borrow one of our community members' words, BIGMANISM, right? And this is from David. I saw David use it in the comment section, and it was quite suitable for what is actually going on here in this matter, right? Hence the reason I titled this video BIGMANISM in Nigeria, right? And of course, as you all know already, the case study is between Ceemore, the man called Ceemore in Port Harcourt, and these ladies that had gone to Black Box Night Club to celebrate one of their birthdays before things went south. All right. So as it stands, the matter has still not been amicably resolved yet. Okay, let me not say right now because I don't know what's going on right now in Port Harcourt. But yes, as at yesterday, this was the update. So we're going to have a proper conversation. But before we get right into it, I'm going to play a clip from one of the girls that was assaulted. All right. She actually gave out a lot of information. It was too lengthy, but what I did was I was able to edit the most important part, all right? And it's 6 minutes long, so we're just going to watch it first. And there are other clips that I'm going to play, for this live. So guys, just stay tuned and watch, all right? And of course, don't forget, as usual, how we do it on here. I would love to hear your thoughts, all right? So you just pay attention because from the video I put out earlier this week, some people have been asking, oh, would like to get more details about the case. We would like to hear from the man's own side. Guys, you will hear, all right? So I'm just going to go ahead and play the clip. So just go ahead, listen from one of the girls that was assaulted, and then we'll get into the conversation proper, all right? Okay.
Guys, let it be known today that if anything should happen to I and my friends, Ceemore and his associates should be held responsible. He wasn't giving any restraining order in court. And due to the threats we've been getting, our lives are at risk. People have been threatening. Some are calling, saying that we should forgive. Some are calling, saying that we should be careful and tread carefully. That Ceemore is a big man and that we should be, that we should back down. They're threatening us to back down from this case, threatening our lives. Like this now, I'm scared of stepping out of my house. I can't leave my house because I don't even know who is who. I can't eat, I can't sleep. The trauma alone, the dreams I've been having, the trauma I'm going through this period is too much. Imagine what my other friends will be going through wherever they are now. Those people in my comment section that has been asking for the man's side of the story, not minding what he has done, not minding how grievous the thing he did was. They really just want to know his side of the story. Now, this is the man's side of the story. When they called Ceemore to come in for questioning, he denied everything. He even denied sitting next to us. He said that he came in and then he sat down in the seats that his friends kept for him. He denied sitting close to us. He denied sitting anywhere near us. And then he said that when I was making a video, that he noticed that his friends were not comfortable with the video I was doing because I was using a small LED light. That his friends were not comfortable with the video I was doing, and one of them hit my phone down. And as they hit my phone down, this man said he's a mediator of peace. He doesn't like trouble because people that know him know he doesn't like trouble. This is what this man was saying. That he was saying he's sorry. How would you say sorry and things escalated to this manner? Are we mad people? We came to the club just to have fun. We don't even know you. And you interfered in our birthday party. Is it wrong for the celebrant to confront you and your friends that you are messing up her birthday party? Is it wrong that one of my friends came to him to confront him, to ask him and his friends, why did he hit my phone down? And that in the process of the argument, that my friend was holding a glass of drink, and it mistakenly poured on his body, and that my friend mistakenly used her hand to hit him. Can you imagine what this man said? A full-grown man lying like this against young girls that he assaulted. that my friend mistakenly used her hand to hit him, and that because of that, there are people in the club that are loyal to him. That he has people in the club that are loyal to him because he has helped them one way or the other. That when they saw what was happening, they fled up and they broke bottle. That he doesn't know them. This man is actually trying to exempt himself. He's actually trying to tell the DPO that he's not involved in the assaults and that we are falsely accusing him. That's the only thing he heard was, now Ceemore when they do like this, now Ceemore when they do like this, bam, bottle broke. I was shocked that this man did this evil act and he is not feeling remorseful, and the best thing to do was to deny it. Can you imagine? So 7 young classy girls will book a reservation to come to a club to pick him out. Like, because we don't even know who he was. We didn't even know who he was when he was saying, do you know who I am? Because he made that statement, do you know who I am? Even the waiter told me, do I know who he is? Like, he's a big man. I said, I don't bloody care. You're a big man, you don't know me. You don't even know if I'm a big man's wife too. So you don't treat strangers like that. That was what I was saying before I left the club. So we didn't know him from the beginning. It was when he was running away with his heels and I was crying and trying to make video evidence, and his mopo assaulted me, trying to take my phone. They shattered my phone, my screen is bad. Trying to take my phone from me. That was when one of the customers identified him, that we should not worry, that we can get him. Now told us his name, his business name, and his Instagram name. That was how we went to Instagram and fished him out, and we saw that he was one. Because he knows that we can never get our hands on the CCTV footage. He was claiming that the CCTV camera will vindicate him, that they should bring the CCTV footage, knowing fully well that we won't be able to access that camera. Because the owner of Blackbox said at the DPO office that the camera doesn't work on Wednesdays, that it's only weekends. That was what he said. But when we met at the state CID, the manager said a different thing. The manager said the camera was recording, but no storage. You're seeing how these people are trying to hide, because it's that CCTV camera that will vindicate us. It's that CCTV camera that will show the truth, and they know it. People in the club saw what happened. The bouncers know who did it. The securities, they know who did it. The waiter, we captured the waiter's face. She knows who did it, but they're trying to cover this up because it's not their daughter. Because it didn't happen to them. Because it's not their loved one. They don't care. They're trying to sweep this case under the carpet. This man legit said it was not him, that he doesn't know the people that broke the bottle, and just my friend that he doesn't know. It was people that are loyal to him, that he's helping, that are fighting for him. He even exempted his friends, that he did nothing. You guys saw the video I posted. Does that person wearing white and white is Ceemore? Does that video look like, that video I captured, does it look like he was trying to make peace, or it looks like they were dragging him out of the scene forcefully? This man is legit denying, even with the evidence we have, trying to make us look stupid. No remorse at all. No feeling of remorse at all. Calling people to talk to us. No feeling of remorse. He has never come out to apologize to us. Even if at this point his apology means nothing. But he has never come out to apologize to us for what he did. He's not feeling remorse, he's still feeling reluctant and proud. Because he has money. The DPO sent the case to the Commissioner of Police. We went to the Commissioner of Police. He still stood his ground and denied everything. They took this matter to the state CID. We got to the state CID, we wrote our statement again, and they detained him. They detained him for that day. I don't even know. And the next day, they told us to come. Immediately we got there, they sent us to magistrate court immediately. We got to the magistrate court. Immediately they granted this man bail. They granted him bail. Someone that attempted, that is what they call attempted murder. Because had they hit that person on her head and she slumped, what would they say? Because even the Commissioner of Police said they need to close down Blackbox. But they need to shut down Blackbox till the case, depending on when this matter is being resolved. But no, the club is still functioning, where people's life are still at risk. If they hit that person on Juliet's head and she slumped dead, what would be the case? That's attempted murder. That's threats to life. What if the mopos they had downstairs that were trying to cock on at me? What if they shot me? That's threats to life. The magistrate court granted him bail and adjourned the case to July. Are you seeing what these people are doing? They adjourned the case to July, trying to die the matter. When we went to the Commissioner of Police, he denied everything. They told him to bring the mopos. Since he's denying, the bouncers, they know what happened. The waiters, they know what happened. The security knew what happened. They saw everything. But they're trying to sweep this case under the carpet. They don't want to do an individual investigation. This man is legit denying everything. Now, the Commissioner of Police told Ceemore to provide those mopo up to today. Ceemore refused to provide those mopo. He said they are mopo 19. That was where they assigned those two mopos to him, mopo 19. And he has refused to provide them because he knows that if he provides them, the truth will come out. Even his friends, the manager mentioned 2 people, because we don't know these people. During questioning at the DPO office, the manager mentioned 2 names, Kelachi and one other guy. I can't remember his name. Mentioned 2 names. They asked Ceemore to provide those friends. He lied that one of them traveled to London. How can you commit such assault and you run to London the next day? I believe that's a lie. But what about the other friend? If the other one traveled to London, what about the other one? What about your other friend? He doesn't want to provide anyone because he knows that if they make a statement, it will interfere with what he's saying. He knows that nobody wants to come out. None of his friends will want to come out because they're trying to save their head. He cannot provide his friends that he was with, claiming it is none of them, that it is somebody in the club that did it. A random person. That's what he's saying. For those that want to hear his side of the story, this is the side of the story. He is saying that he was not the one that did this. People that he helped, people that are loyal to him, people that he doesn't know, that fought for him. He's denying everything.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we've all listened to what this young woman has actually said. It's a lot. It's a lot. And you see, as I listened to all the videos that she put out, oh, by the way, if you go and check out her page on TikTok. Those videos are no longer there. And it makes me worried why she deleted them. Those videos were in 4 parts, and she left the last one, whilst the other three, they are no longer there. But the good thing is there are other clips, right, to buttress what she was saying. And I'm going to play those clips here. But the first thing that stood out for me in everything she was saying is the threats, which is something I was sort of expecting, because this is Nigeria. You must have heard on different occasions where people will say that security is for the rich. The laws of this country are only fashioned out to favor the rich. When you read something in the Nigerian law, maybe you have a police case or anything, and there's somewhere that says, oh, people, you must not do this, you must not do that. Just know that the rich are actually doing it and getting away with it, whilst the poor, they are the ones that get punished. I listened to everything this girl said, also watched other videos, and guys, I wept for this country. I wept for Nigeria. Because there's a particular video which I'm going to play. This Ceemore, I don't know if the conversation they were having was in the police station or where they were having that conversation, but this Ceemore sat down in a chair like the boss. It was like they were having a village meeting, and the Ceemore sat in a chair, crossed his legs, and he had dark shades on. And he was shouting, I did not do anything. I'm not the one. I don't even know these girls. This man was literally denying those girls. And there were other eyewitnesses there. There's another guy that had his head broken. I'm going to play these clips, guys. All right, we're going to get there. And you see, it was like a caricature of a society so decayed that, in quotes, a big man would be summoned by the police to come and, tell his own side of the story and answer queries as to why, what would push him to assault those innocent young women. And he would sit down in the presence of the law enforcement officers. Yeah, he would sit down, cross his leg, wear dark shade. Woe betide any common Nigerian, any common peasant that is not deemed a big man to even sit like that in the presence of law enforcement. Who born you well? Where would you even find such balls to sit down like that, wear dark sunshade in a dark room? Not like the room was really dark. You will see for yourself. Who will give you such balls? You will sit down like that, cross your leg in one big armchair, whilst everybody will squeeze themselves on the benches around. You will sit there in their midst like the king of the world, and then you wear dark sunshade, and then you are shouting at everybody like they are peasants to you. Your Royal Highness Ceemore, your Lordship, tiny short man, but his shoulders, everything is big. That was the first thing that caught my attention, because I'm like, oh wow. If it was a poor man, a common Nigerian peasant that is not a big man, that does not have connection, that does not have people, trust me, that guy would probably be on the floor. And as he's trying to tell his own side of the story, he's receiving slaps and kicks and punches from all angles. You will see him totally bruised. Before he would even find his way into that office to come and explain himself, he must have slept in jail for at least 2 nights with mosquitoes and all manner of crawling things. They would have eaten him up first before he now finds his way to the police officer's office, where he'll now go and tell his story. By that time you see him, he would have been looking battered and shattered. But Ceemore, I'm sure he must have sprayed his most expensive perfume that day to go and intimidate everybody in that police station that, hey, do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who I am? Which was exactly the same thing that this mother effer was screaming at the nightclub, according to the girls and eyewitnesses. Because when these friends used their different social media platforms to tell their story, guess what? There were a lot of people in the comment section that were agreeing to their stories. There were even people that were in the same club at that point in time that whole incident was happening, and they were agreeing. And guess what? Eyewitness accounts said, there was this particular comment I saw, said that, oh, they were in the club that day, And what they witnessed was that the man was actually trying to woo two of the girls first, and the girls refused. So his ego got bruised. And that was the beginning of the problem. So the girls were actually having their fun, you know. Of course, you are in a club, beautiful girl, looking all banging and smashing, and you're enjoying yourself. You're enjoying your money. You're not depending on any man, you know, to foot the bills of your drinks or even pay for your space. And then, you know, naturally, men will gravitate towards you. They want to talk to you. They want to toast you, because that's what usually happens in nightclubs. They want to talk to you, and you're like, oh, don't worry, I'm good. And they get offended. Why? Because in their tiny little mind, Port Harcourt is their territory. Port Harcourt, Nigeria is their territory. Anywhere they go, in their mind, in their tiny little mind, their tiny little brains, they believe that they have the right to possess whoever they want to possess. They believe that in a club setting, all they need to do is to spray 100 miserable chicken change naira notes on people, on girls especially, and whatever they want, the girls will follow them home. Because that's part of the club culture in Nigeria. They believe that, oh, is it not money? Just spray them to 200 naira, 100 naira. When you are ready to go, they will follow you. Or just buy them drink. Girls like to drink champagne. Just buy them champagne and they will follow you. So most of the eyewitness accounts, that was what they were saying. So you made advances at women who came out to have their own fun. They did not see you at the gate and beg you to carry them into the club. Or no, they already booked their own tables ahead. They booked their space ahead. They came to that same club with their own money. They bought their own drinks. They sprayed themselves their own money. However way they got the money, it is not anybody's effing business. But they came to the club to spend their money. And you as a man, with your tiny little mind, with your big ego, but tiny little mind, tiny little sense, tiny little brain, you decide that you want to go and interrupt their fun. And once they rejected you, because in your mind, you are so used to getting people kiss your ass, kiss your feet, worship you because of the peanuts that you give to them, you get offended. And then he decided to destroy not only their fun, but also destroy the girls. Did you hear how they said those girls were beaten, stripped naked, thrown down the staircase of that club, thrown down the staircase, beaten, stripped naked? And now what you're hearing is the man is denying everything. He's saying that he was not there. He said he does not even know the girls. Everything points to him that he was the one. He said he wasn't even there. And you see, yeah, thank God for social media. Thank God for smartphones that can record. Those girls were able to record and they were able to show him. The evidence is on the internet. They're able to show him that, yeah, this is him. The man was literally fighting, like he wanted to literally use his bare hands to kill those girls. Live and direct. But now let's go back to the girl's narration. You've heard for yourself. Those of you that were asking me, oh, Glory, oh, we want to hear more details. You've heard more details. I mean, what would warrant such barbaric treatment to women that just decided just want to go out and have fun? What would warrant such treatment? Who does the man think he is? Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Who the F are you? If you are that big, you went to a club and the girls rejected you, your advances, and then they also decided that, please, I'm sorry, we're already crowded enough here. Please, we're celebrating our birthday. Could you please excuse us? If you do know who I am, if you are that big, why don't you open your own club? Because if they say go to another nightclub, you still go and act lower than an animal in another nightclub. So do you know who I am? Oga, if you are the king of the world, why don't you use all the money that you have and open your own nightclub where you and your cronies, you and your barbaric elements called friends and mopos and whatever the F you people are, where all of you go and gather by yourselves, and because you hate women so much, why don't you open your own club where you and your animalistic people will go and enjoy yourselves by yourself without the disturbance of anybody else? Because it baffles me why these so-called big men do that. You have your money, you have your affluence, you have your influence, you have your connections, you have all the things that you claim you have. Yeah? But when you want to go out, you enjoy going to places that are already congested. You enjoy going to places that are already populated, overly populated with common, normal people that just wants to come and spend their hard-earned money and enjoy themselves. You still carry you and your baggage, you and your bad character, your bad behavior, your disgusting brain, because your brain is not fresh, your disgusting self. You still pack yourself and go to those places to go and terrorize people. And you're screaming, do you know who I am? Who the F are you? If you have so much money, open up your own fun place, open up your own nightclub, create your own fun, have your own fun. In fact, in your mansion that you have, open up your own nightclub so that you know that when you choose a particular day to be mad, just carry yourself inside your nightclub and go mad. If the madness is really shocking you, break everything in there so you know that yes, it is inside your own house that you went mad and nobody is going to point fingers at you. Nobody is going to hold you to ransom. Why do you have to go public with your madness? From what the girl said in a video, she said the man said he does not even know them. He was not even there, but he was there. He said he did not touch them. His friends did not touch the girls. It's not his mopo, that it was people inside the nightclub that are loyal to him. His loyalists. That they were the ones that saw what was happening and they were like, why would you be, why would you be, like, why would you do that to Ceemore? That it is those people inside the club that attacked those girls. According to eyewitness accounts, because now I'm basing my facts on eyewitnesses, because now I saw a lot of comments on the internet, people saying that, what did the girl say to Ceemore? Those people asking those questions, I'm sorry, but you're actually very dumb to ask such a question. Because no matter the question that those girls even ask, that is, if at all they even ask any questions, does it warrant the man breaking a bottle on one of the girls' head? Does it warrant the man and his mopos, his goons, does it warrant them beating up those girls, all of them, stripping some of them naked like common criminals? And then the other one, they literally removed this girl's teeth. Guys, did you see that? Somebody's front. Hello? What did the girl say? What did the girl say? It's such a dumb question. Is that even the question they should be asking? So imagine your mother or your sister or your daughter or your wife goes out and is getting harassed by a man, maybe not just even a man, but by anybody. And she tries to defend herself, like, oh, please leave me alone. I'm not interested. Leave me alone. And they beat her up. You're going to say she was being disrespectful by standing up for herself, by defending herself. You're going to say, oh, she was being disrespectful. So what did you expect her to do? She should keep quiet and swallow all the harassment. Really? What is low-minded? You see, guys, that's why I deliberately played that video, because I needed people to hear it directly from the horse's mouth, because there was no way I would come here to come and try to paraphrase everything that she said, because it still probably would not really make sense to a lot of people, but to hear from the horse's mouth, because guys, just as David put it, this is a typical case of BIGMANISM, because it cuts across all levels. As I said, we're going to talk about the role of the courts, the role of the police. We're going to talk about even the role of the club, the role of the community. Because everything these girls have shared, it just goes to show you that the decadence, the level of decadence, it's disgusting. And it's not just in Port Harcourt. It is a thing here in Nigeria. So-called big men are allowed to get away with a lot of things. But check the news. The moment you see, oh, one person that stole yam in the market, one person that stole chicken in the market, one person that stole bread, you will see how the police will arrest the person, and immediately they're giving them criminal plate number to hold, and they will snap their picture and they'll populate their picture across all social media platforms to show that, yes, The police is working. They've captured the criminal, somebody that stole bread. But here is someone that almost killed someone's daughters or people's daughters. And this man still has the audacity. Okay, not even him, because yes, he has his own audacity, but law enforcement is even giving him more audacity. See him walking freely to the police station, and then he's wearing that shit. You still even have voice to talk. You still even have voice to even shout. Do you know who I am? See, sometimes it makes me wonder that, okay, what if we now live in a society where people no longer obey the law like rich people do, right? So you assault me too. I decided, okay, fine. Since you think you have monopoly of madness, the same way you assaulted me too. I'll go and mobilize people that will come and assault you like that. If possible, even destroy you completely, eliminate you. Imagine the society now turns into that type of society. What do you think is going to happen? People that have been holding grudges about what people have done to them for the longest time, they'll be killing people anyhow. They'll be eliminating everybody because that's a level that the madness will get to. Now, from what the girl said, from what she explained, ladies and gentlemen, never ever in my entire life have I heard that in a place of business that has CCTV cameras all over the place, that on Wednesdays only, the cameras are not functional. But the cameras work on any other day. Ah, Jesus Christ. Because that was what she said. So, according to what she explained, they had questioned the owner of the Blackbox restaurant, and he had said that because according to them, on the day that thing happened, it was a Wednesday. So they said the cameras were not working at that point in time. There was no storage. So I think another thing she said was, they said on Wednesday the camera does not work, but it worked on any other day. Wow. Wonderful. Because this is so unbelievable. How do people even concoct lies like that? And then they now asked the management. The management now said no, that the cameras worked, but there was no storage. They were just bringing different lies. First thing I said, why is that club still open? Why is it? That is if they've not shut it down by now. Yesterday was Friday, so there's a possibility that the club operated yesterday, right? So why is the club still open? Why is it still operating? Why? Because according to people that have had experiences with that particular Blackbox Night Club, they said it's not the first time that things like this do happen, that the owner of the club is aware, that the management is aware, but when it is a big man, big spender, they allow them have their way. Huh? Why is the club still open? Because if it is a common man, their business would have been destroyed. Not even shut down. It would have been destroyed. You see how the law in this country is not balanced. The law in this country only ever favors the rich, the affluential. Doesn't always, almost never even favors the poor. And by poor, I also refer to those who do not have connection, who do not know people in high places. The way that Ceemore was talking, the guy was talking as if he knows Wike himself, former governor of Port Harcourt. Is it Port Harcourt? Yeah. It's like he knows Wike himself. It's like he knows all the powerful people, all the powerful politicians. So take it anywhere, nothing will happen. That was what the girl said. That Ceemore, the guy, did what he did and was telling them that nothing will happen. And guess what? That is the typical confidence of a typical big man or big woman in Nigeria. When they do things, when they commit assaults and whatever it is that is wrong according to the laws of this country or according to humanity, the one thing that they always brag about is that anywhere you like you go, nothing is going to happen. And guess what? 99.9% of the time they are right. nothing happens. Nothing happens. Why? Guys, I don't know. But for whatever reason, whatever it is you're doing, they're usually right. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. I'm going to play the other clip where the Ceemore guy was yapping his mouth that he doesn't know the girls, which of course is a lie. Now, this video, I got it from the internet, but as you can see, I think it is owned by the Beat FM and is it Nigerian Info FM, some radio stations. I don't know, but yeah, just putting out the actual owners of the video. The videos do not belong to me. So yeah, let me just put it out there. Let me see.
Defend yourself. Excuse me, please.
Something that was not done by me, I will accept.
But the people that follow you, who are they?
Something that was not done by me.
But who are those people?
Do I know them?
No.
If you hear from this young man, he said the person went to the table and
Excuse me.
Do I know the person? The answer is no.
Excuse me, please. Ceemore.
I was just vibing then. All of a sudden, my friend was making a video of herself, and this man, I think his friend, hit her phone. Like before then, one of them told us that they asked us to stand for them to sit down. Why would they be sitting down? Why standing while we are sitting down? So all of a sudden he hit my friend for no reason. I was like, why are you eating my friend's phone? Well, like I should come here and say it. I'm like, you don't have any rights. Why will you eat my friend's phone? And all of a sudden, my friend was asking me, okay, they started pushing me out. There's a certain guy that was trying to avoid me, which I don't know who he was. They were pushing me and pushing the guy out. Then my friend was asking that, why are you pushing my friend? I think she's a small girl or something. From there, he carried bottles and broke on her head.
Who carried bottles?
He carried bottles and broke on her head. While doing that, everybody was trying to run. Despite the fact that this thing was happening, the club was still ongoing. They were still having fun. They didn't even care what was even happening. Okay, as I went downstairs, I was like, where's my best friend? I was trying to go upstairs to look for her. He came downstairs, he and his friend. There's a particular friend, a short friend that is always gingering him that we should do this. I don't know, there are two. Gingering, he should do this. He saw me and he was trying to like beat me. People were trying to stop him, but I think they later released him. And while I was running, he was running like this. The other friend, the two of them were running like this. And they missed me and started beating me mercilessly, like removing my ring, even tearing my clothes.
Who is doing that?
I don't know, I think it's Mopo. They're tearing my clothes. And he was the one that was protecting me.
Police, right?
Yes, it was him that was protecting me. This particular guy, he was protecting me that they should stop doing this. When they were trying to drag me to the van, I don't know where they were trying to drag me, and he was not trying to protect me. They had told me to hide inside. That was how I just heard this. And before I was now hearing that he also punched my friend until he broke. This one too. And also this one, he stoned the bottle on her head and she started bleeding.
Can I hear from you?
Okay. Okay, sir. I was in the club that particular day, and I was in a friend's birthday party. I was close to them. I saw them. They were close.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the video. Yeah, the video wasn't complete. I don't know where the rest of it is because, as I said, it is not my property. You know, it was in the course of my research on this matter that I came across the video. I wish I could find the rest of that video because I really wanted to hear that young man's, own side of the story. Because as you probably heard from the few things he said on the video, he was also a witness, a bystander, like someone that also came to patronize the club, also celebrating his friend's birthday, and he saw what was happening. So you could see in that video that he was also affected because he was trying to help the girls. But in the process, he also got assaulted, his head with the whole bandage thing on his head. But I don't know if you saw the Ceemore himself. Oh God, I have so much to say, but I'm just trying to be nice. Hey, God. You see that man the way he is, so yeah. On my previous video, I mentioned that if that man was so confident in himself as a big man, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Are you the Rock? You're a professional wrestler in your village. Eh? You have so much power. Why did you not walk alone into that club without the mopos, without the friends? You know, Oga, you have so much balls. Maybe you have 20 balls. Other people, they probably have 2 balls. You have 20, only you. So why don't you just walk into the club by yourself and then go and do all that nonsense? So that we will know that, yes, so this man, you carry bomb for head. Just go alone into the club. Go and show yourself. Go and show your madness to all those girls as if you walk out of that club scot-free. But you could see that his power laid in the amount of people that he carried along with him to that club. I don't even know them. I don't even know them. But everybody is saying that, okay, you were there. You were the one that carried the bottle and broke this young woman's head. Now, let's move on again to the CCTV. Question is, why is the club not releasing the CCTV footage? Why? Why? It is so freaking absurd that they will give the excuse of, oh, on Wednesday, the CCTV camera does not work on Wednesdays, but it works on Saturday. Are you crazy? Is this a joke? Do you actually think it's a joke? Which business establishment in this entire world? Which one? Point out one that has CCTV, like cameras in their place of business. And then they say, okay, on Wednesday alone, no. Only on Wednesday, the CCTV does not work. But any other day, it works. Are they, like, is this a joke? And then come and the manager now came and said, no, it actually worked, but there was no storage. So when Ceemore was going mad, the storage finished. Only when Ceemore was going mad, storage finished. Another question I have, and this one is for the Nigerian police. Why is Ceemore, why was he granted bail? Because if everything that girl said, right? The man has refused to release the names of the Mopo officer that he had instructed to beat up those girls. He has refused to release their names. She said on a video that the man was saying he's Mopo 19. Who the fuck is Mopo 19? Don't they have names? Is it a whole battalion? Obviously, these are selected people that this man pays to move around with him as security. According to big man standard in Nigeria, you see that when they are going out, they will carry one hillocks behind, hillocks in front, and then they will be wow, wow, wow. They'll be blowing siren. They'll be disrupting. If you are even driving safe with their hillocks, they need to clear you from the road. Why? Because one tiny little man with tiny little balls and brains is trying to pass. The big man, the big woman is trying to pass. So everybody else go and die. Let the big man and the big woman pass. Because they are the ones feeding the whole country. They are the ones paying everybody's house rent. They are the ones paying everybody's bills. Now they are everybody's father and mother. So everybody go to hell. The big man and the big woman wants to pass. So Ceemore is refusing to release the names of the Mopo people. He's refusing to release the name of his friends. By the way, this girl, she has released a picture, on her TikTok account of one of the friends that she said it was this particular friend that hit her phone. If you watch the video I put out before, it's there. So she said that this is the man's friend that hit the phone from her hand. I don't know his name, but this was the picture I got from my TikTok account. She said someone helped them to get the picture. So this is one of the pictures. This is one of the friends. There's another friend. That picture is not yet released. I haven't seen that picture yet. If I see it, I'm going to put it on my channel. Let people see the face of these people that decided to turn themselves into monsters against people's daughters. So my thing is, why is Ceemore still walking freely? Why was he granted bail? Is he too big to spend at least 1 week in cell? Because if it is a poor man that does not have connection, that does not know anybody, that does not know people in Nigeria, trust me, that person will still be in jail. That person will be in jail. That person will be sleeping with mosquitoes in jail. They will starve that person. But this is the so-called, whatever the F his name is, they granted him bail. Immediately he was detained, but then they granted him bail. Why is he out of jail? That man behaved lower than an animal. Me even calling him barbarian, I'm even elevating him to some extent. If there's anything lower of like lowest than a barbarian, he acted like that. So why is he allowed back into society to mingle with normal human beings, even though we know that a lot of people are not normal? Yes, but why is he still out there? By now, he should still be detained until he provides the names of those mopos and his friends that assisted him in assaulting those girls. That is the right thing to do. And then the Blackbox Night Club. The police should have invaded that place the moment they got report of that nonsense. They should have invaded that place. They should have collected their CCTV footages. If they refuse to release it, they shut down the club until the owner of the club does the right thing. The owner of the club at first released 2 videos at the point of the attacks, and then he was talking about nobody deserves to be nobody talking like what I don't even understand. And then another video like he was warning the Ceemore. I did a video about it. I'm like, this guy, you're speaking gibberish. Because if truly you are a good person, if truly you have conscience, by now you would have released the CCTV footage. Let the whole world see this so-called Ceemore, whoever the F he thinks he is, for who he really is. It's not about you're just talking, you're talking so that it will look as if you're talking tough, you're talking smart, you're not afraid of Ceemore. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of the Blackbox Night Club is actually friends with the Ceemore. There are actually videos on social media showing both of them, exchanging handshakes and doing business deals together. They're actually friends. And according to eyewitnesses, people that have been sharing their stories on social media, they said that whenever Ceemore does things like this, he goes scot-free. Nothing happens. And the Blackbox Night Club is actually notorious for things like this to happen. And the owner is aware, but the owner doesn't really do anything about it. They say his bouncers also harasses people. There was a video I watched before I came online, a young lady sharing her story, how she was standing just outside the club waiting for Uber. She booked Uber. She was waiting for the Uber to come. Other areas were quite dark. So because there was light outside the club, she had to stand outside and wait for the Uber. And the bouncers literally pushed her. They assaulted her because they were telling her to get away from around the club area. And she's like, I don't understand. I'm just here because there's lights for protection. I can't go into the dark areas because I don't want to be robbed. And they were attacking this girl. No respect for women. So imagine, as the owner of Blackbox Club, your establishment already has a very disgusting and ugly reputation of not respecting women, of always assaulting and harassing women, and you've never done anything about it, publicly even. I don't know if you do anything about it in private, but you've never really done anything about it. And then this one now happened with Ceemore in your establishment. Because he's your friend, you are claiming CCTV is not working, but you are talking, and Ceemore, you cannot even. I'm going to play a clip of what the guy was yapping because it was so freaking disgusting. Oh, guys, shut the F up. We don't want to hear you talk anymore. Bring out the CCTV footages. Bring it out. Because that is the peak evidence that's going to nail this mother effer. What are you talking about, Ceemore? You can never accept you're wrong. Does it look like somebody that's going to accept is wrong? Let me play the video of what this guy was actually saying because it was so freaking annoying. So annoying. Yeah. So everybody knows that the guy was just talking just for the optics. So it's not look as if the CEO of Blackbox Night Club did not see anything. So he has to talk. So it will not look as if he did not see anything. He's just talking just to show that he cares. He does not care because if he cares, You should have handed over the CCTV footages to the police instantly. So what does that tell you? It tells you that they're all trying to sweep everything under the carpet. They are trying to die the matter. Let me play what this guy said, because it's just very
I
annoying.
don't think this case is a case of accusing somebody of stealing. They are accusing somebody of another thing that is very petty. This is a case of assault that has resulted to physical, like the abuse is physical injuries. So all this, each person trying to defend and not defend. So who did it to them now? He said, you are my friend and you do one. And I will maintain that. Because 4 or 5 people cannot be lying. And the most painful part is him saying that he does not know this man and nobody did this man of such magnitude of an injury. Then him is saying that, oh, they should, like, are we joking here?
We are not joking.
We are here.
Are we joking now? I'll send you out of house.
Are we joking
Don't
here?
talk like that in this one. I'll send you out of
As everybody is trying to defend
I'll
themselves,
if I
are
don't
we
give you
joking
time
here?
to talk, I will take that.
He has already said a lot by saying, oh, he had people loyal to him that respect him. Everybody listening. Now he's saying he does not know the people again.
No, he's the lawyer that is trying to defend you.
So even the lawyer listening to him. How is everybody here? Like now you're saying that a manager is saying something different. Manager had already said he was downstairs. Before he came, he had already had altercations with the 4 of them. So why are you waiting for him?
See,
Make we stop now.
Everything was very clear. Are they follow up?
See,
And you
Sit down.
wait,
no, keep quiet.
Sit down. Never.
No, keep quiet.
excuse me.
Don't make it marketplace, so don't make it marketplace. Outside.
Excuse me.
Outside. Outside the station.
I'm going to the 100 million. All of us will use them now. You got humble. Anybody.
You know, as I was watching this whole thing, guys, what was really paining me the most is that everybody is pointing fingers at Ceemore. But Ceemore is sat there with his horrible dark shades. And then, according to what they said, his lawyer is defending him. You see that lawyer? I know that he's doing his job, but I want something like this to happen to the lawyer too. Yeah? Let somebody in his life, maybe his sister guys, a lot of things are just really pissing me off because I'm thinking, you as a lawyer, your client literally has his hands with blood all over it. The blood of those girls, the ones that they broke her head, the one that they removed their teeth, the one that they beat, brutalized, their blood is just all over his hands. What are you defending? What are you defending? Yes, you're working for your money, but Oga, as a lawyer, there are some cases that you should not even take. Just tell your client, see, however way you want to restitute, however way you want to resolve this issue, instead of arguing and claiming rights, let us settle these girls. Pay for their medicals. On my previous video, I said, for the next 1 year, if 1 year is too much, at least agree on 6 months. Pay for these girls' medicals. The one that they remove their teeth, go and pay a dentist to put a brand new artificial teeth there, because there's no way you can carry that girl's teeth and come and put it back. I don't know how it works, but work on that. Pay those girls for damages. They paid money for that birthday, that spot at the club. Pay them back their money because you disrupted their fun. Pay them back. However way you want to settle these girls, Pay them. Put out a public apology as a public person that you are claiming you are in Port Harcourt. Put out a public video of apology and also apologize to all of your clients because he's a businessman. The Ceemore that they are calling him, it is the name of his business. Put out a public apology. Accept that, yes, you acted like a barbarian, like even lower than an animal. Make things right. What is all this? No, guys, the more I was watching those videos, the more I was just so pissed. What are you arguing? What right are you claiming that you did not do anything? Everybody is saying that you did it. You even carried bottle and broke one girl's head. But you are saying you don't know them. Oga, people like you have special spots in hell. Special big man spots in hell. Because what kind of lies? What kind of lies? But the reason I played that clip is because of the owner of Blackbox Restaurant. I like what he's doing. He's outrightly pointing out the Ceemore guy that it is you. Even though you are my friend, it is you. I appreciate it because you can clearly see that the guy is desperately trying to save his business. He knows that if things go south, his business is going to be closed down. He knows. So he's desperately trying to save his business. But can somebody whisper in his ears or maybe scream it out loud to his face or probably break his head too and put it in his skull and tell him that, Oga, you are trying, no, but the one thing that will save you is carry the CCTV footage, make a copy of it so that you have a copy. Because in the police, you don't know which of them is compromised. The thing in this country is money exchange hands, bullshit works. Get a copy of it so that you have your own copy and then hand over the footage to the police. It will aid their investigation. Let them see that indeed this man did what he did. All this talk explanation you are giving, it is still words. And now the role of the court. Very Dark Man also followed up on the case. The girls too, from their own testimonial. They said they took them straight to magistrate court. They granted the Ceemore bail, and then they postponed the case till July. Ladies and gentlemen, why is it that the so-called big people in this country, they always get a pass? They always get a pass. They postponed the case to July. So what should happen to those girls? The one that they use bottle to break her head. What if she has a concussion? God forbid. But what if, just what if she has a concussion? And then the one that they removed her teeth. Beautiful young woman. But they've deformed her face by removing her teeth with a punch. So she should carry that teeth like that and be walking around and take care of herself till July when the court decides to sit and look into that case. And you see, another thing that pains me about this country is the way justice gets served. Even when the justice comes out, right, you will be so disappointed that it will not be the way it should be. You see that thing the Ceemore was saying, nothing will happen, nothing will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, you and I know. If you are a core Nigerian, you and I know what's going to happen. All Ceemore needs is to be connected to you know who in that same Port Harcourt, and you know what's going to happen. And it really pains me. It really pains me that these girls are suffering this pain, this trauma, the threats from Ceemore's people, because according to the girls, Ceemore's friends, family members, his brother, whoever, they are calling the girls, they are telling them to forget about the matter. They are threatening the girls. No compensation, no punishment, no jail term for Ceemore and his cohorts, but they are threatening those girls' lives. Blackbox is still functioning. They're still making their money. They're still operating. But those girls, they are panicking. They are sleeping with one eye shut. They are scared because they don't know what's going to happen if they decide to take a step out of their house. They don't know if they are safe at all where they live. But Ceemore is still moving around with his with his convoy. Have you seen? I went to his business page. I saw where the man was moving with a whole convoy. Who are you? Do you know who I am? Okay, come and tell us who you are. Maybe you paid my house rent in advance for the rest of my life and I don't know. Or maybe you decided that you're going to feed all Nigerians till you grow old and die. Maybe I don't know. Somebody should please inform me. But who the hell are you? Only you have convoy. Only you beat up women and you will still brag and say nothing is going to happen. You see this case, I'm carrying it on my head. I'm going to talk about it as much as I can, and I want to see how it's going to end. Because that guy must spend time in jail. And I'm not talking about all this VIP jail, because I heard that there are some VIP treatments in jail. You know, some people don't put them in one house and say you're under house arrest. No, you put him in proper jail. The same jail that they put poor people, they need to put this man inside that kind of jail, strip him naked also, like a common criminal, the way he did to those girls. They need to put him through the same thing and let him know how it feels to be degraded. You degrade a woman because your ego got bruised. May that ego be tarnished forever. May it be destroyed forever. Because what the hell? And it also makes me wonder, is this how this man treats the women in his life? His wife? Does he beat his wife at home? Does he? Because it is painful, guys. It is painful. When I see stories like this, I look at myself in the mirror and I see these women in myself. I see myself in those women. And I ask myself, Glory, with this your beautiful dentition, imagine somebody coming to come and pluck out one of your teeth. You think you will go scot-free? I will remove your balls. My teeth, that is my pride. That when I brush my teeth, I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself that I'm taking care of my dentition. You come and remove one. Not the one at the back, the one in front. So you mean I cannot smile anymore when I take pictures or when I make videos? You remove it and you're bragging that nothing will happen. Oga. Oh my God. I am so pissed. I'm so pissed. And I hope that the police has actually heard that people are threatening those girls. What they are supposed to do, they are supposed to collect the phone number of those people that are calling those girls to threaten them. Why are things not working in this country? Why are things not working? Or maybe I watch too many movies. Because when you watch all these foreign movies, I'm not saying that other countries are way better than Nigeria, because every other country, they have their own challenge. But when you watch most of these Hollywood movies, when you see this kind of things happening, the first thing, they get, as I said, shut down the Blackbox Club, get the CCTV footages to get all the evidence, ensure that the Ceemore himself is locked up until he provides the names of all the people he ordered to beat up those girls. Then together with all of them, lock them up in jail. Whilst they are serving jail term, like criminals that they treated those girls to be, they need to pay for those girls' treatment. The one that they remove their teeth, they need to pay for surgery, that she gets a new front tooth. They need to pay for it. The one that they broke her head, that her wig that they tore off her head, they need to pay for all of those things. Pay for treatment. Pay for that girl to go for, is it an MRI scan? They need to pay for that. They need to pay for complete treatment, body check, to check that those girls, their organs, their internal organs are okay, that they are well, that they are not sick, that there's no potential damage to that girl's brain. They need to pay for all of those things. Shebi is always, I'm a big man. Who am I? Do you know who I am? That money that he claims that he has, they need to spend that money taking care of those girls. While Ceemore and his cohort, they are spending quality time in jail. That's what it should be. If the owner of Blackbox refuses to release the footage, they should lock him also in jail. That is how it should be. When you watch all these foreign movies, that is what happens. And it doesn't end there. It doesn't. After Ceemore is released from jail, you see all those mopo that follow him around. When he's driving, they'll be blowing siren. Wow, wow, wow. They should strip him off all of those security protocols. Because as far as I'm concerned, He's a common Nigerian like me. What impact does he have in my life? Some people say they like Ceemore. Ceemore has given this one money. This one has given this one money. So even though you have a bit of philanthropy in you, does that mean that you go around oppressing people with your name, with your presence, with your security protocols? Does that mean that you have the right to go around oppressing people? If you're looking for a punching bag, why don't you start punching yourself in the face? Because you deserve it. If after this whole thing is resolved, which I really do hope it's resolved, if Ceemore continues moving around with all those mopos, then the Nigerian police, they have failed. Because that is abuse of power, what Ceemore is doing. If those mopos feel like they have so much power, they have so much energy, look at the crisis happening in Benue. Look at the crisis happening in Anambra State, in Enugu, in Plateau, Jos. Why are they not going there to go and flex their muscle? Agbaya, jati jati. You have so much energy, you have so much power. If you know that you have 100 balls, your power is shaching you. Look at those terrorists in the northeast of Nigeria. They are flowing into the west. They're already in the east. Why don't you go there and go and flex your muscle? Why don't you go there? Go and protect the people of Benue State. When you catch a terrorist, you see all those punches you were giving to those girls. Go and throw those punches to the terrorists. You want to prove that you're a man. You want to prove that you have power. You're so weak. Exercising your power on a woman, on a vulnerable woman, an innocent woman, women that did nothing to you because your guy told you, beat them. You too, with your mopo outfit, you went to go and beat the girls. Are you not ashamed? The hell? And ladies and gentlemen, let me make this last point before I share the link for everybody to share their opinion. You see, I think in this country called Nigeria, a lot of business owners still do not understand the ethics of business. And I say this with all level of confidence and facts because I have seen it myself, especially in the club environment, even restaurants. A lot of business owners do not know how to protect their customers. In the nightclub space, a lot of club owners do not know how to protect women. This year alone, I have seen videos of where girls are beaten up and then they are stripped naked outside the club by even the bouncers. And nothing is done about it. At the end of the day, what do they call those girls? They call them prostitutes. Hello, excuse me. Even if they are prostitutes, must they be brutalized in that manner? Excuse you, let's talk reality now. Are prostitutes not human beings too? Because everybody is acting self-righteous. Everybody is acting, holier than thou. But let's call a spade a spade. Are prostitutes not humans too? So because they are prostitutes, they should be killed. They should be stripped naked. They should be disgraced barbarically by the bouncers in a club. So because they are prostitutes, I don't understand. What sort of useless mentality is this in this country? A lot of business owners in Nigeria, they don't know how to protect their clients. They don't. They don't know how to protect their clients. Long ago, I was in a club, went to celebrate my birthday with two friends. And before I knew it, some police people, I don't know if they were police or whatever, but they were security forces. They just barged into the club. Guess what? The management of the club ran away to go and hide. They allowed those people full access to arrest whoever they wanted to arrest. People were running helter-skelter. And I was in one corner. I was hiding. But I was looking at this whole thing play out. I said, Jesus Christ. So you bring your money to come and spend in an environment. You bring your money, and the management of the club, even the owner, because they too are protecting their own heads, they will just point those people at you and say, you want to arrest them? Yeah, go and arrest them. The business owners actually understand that the moment your clients walk into your business establishment, automatically they should be under your protection because they are there to patronize you. They are there to patronize your business. So long as they are in your property, they are in your establishment, you are supposed to protect them. When such a situation happens, you're supposed to question those security forces or whoever they are. Ask them questions. What do you want? Who are you looking for? Do you have an arrest warrant? Who are you looking for? Look out for your customers. But that is far-fetched in this country because everybody is protecting their heads. To the owner of Blackbox Night Club, your establishment has a very ugly and disgusting reputation. What have you done about it? Have you ever called your bouncers to order? According to the girls, when this man was beating them with his friends and his mopos, the manager, the servers, the waiters, the bouncers, they were not doing anything. They allowed that man to assault those girls. Is that how it should be? Is that how it should be? No protection for women. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people are going to argue with me, but I put it to you that no nightclub in Nigeria can function without women. You know why? Because women are the bait that club owners use to lure the men that they want to come and patronize their business. Yes. No nightclub in Nigeria can survive, can function without the presence of women. These club owners, they use these women to sell their clubs. Check out the posters when they want to make their flyers advertising, Friday night rave, Saturday night rave, Sunday night rave. It is women that are scantily dressed that they will use as the vixens on the flyers. What are they doing? They are saying that, come to the club, you come and tell these fine, pretty ladies, they are here. They make you happy. They make your... So the women are objectified. They are only used as objects to please those men. According to club culture in Nigeria, I don't know if it happens anywhere else here, but they use women as invitation to these men. So when these men come to the club, sometimes they tell them, send drinks to that table, send drinks to that table, send drinks to that table. To the women in the club, send them drinks. And then they will not go and whisper to the girls. The manager will go and tell the girls, that guy likes you, that man likes you, he says you should come to his table. And so women too, they will go because that is what they like. But who are we to question what they like? But my point here is, since these women are very, very essential to the businesses of these club owners, why can you not do the needful? Protect these women. When you see a man harassing a woman in a club, it is your job, it is your obligation to step in and ensure that you protect that woman. When you see your bouncers harassing these women, you call them to order. The one that you need to fire, you fire that one and get bouncers that are respectful of women. Because let me tell you, people that own clubs and manage clubs, without the women, your clubs are as good as dead. Because there's nothing you are offering to those men, except they like their fellow men. But it is what it is. If you don't know how to run a business that also protects women's interests, shut it down and go home. Instead of disguising. Let me stop talking here because I'm just so aggravated. I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed. So pissed. Justice must be served. Ceemore and his cohorts, they cannot go scot-free. They cannot go scot-free. Otherwise, this country is going to turn into you do me, I do you. You harass me, I harass you. You assault me, I assault you. Since he wants to look like the law is not really taking its course, it's going to turn into a do me, I do you affair. And guess what? It's not going to be looking good at all. It's going to be very bloody because some people's retaliation will be heavier than the actual assault. I'm telling you, some people's retaliation will be heavier and deeper and more brutal than the actual assault itself. So the law must take its course. If you want to say anything, guys, the link is in the comment section. Click on it. Let's hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear from all of you. Click the link in the comment section and let's hear your thoughts. While waiting for people, just go ahead and read some of your comments. This is from David. David said, the same men see them as humans when they patronize them, but call them prostitutes when they want to blame the victim. Exactly. Okay, we have David here. Let's hear from David. Hi, David. You're welcome.
Hey, hi, Glory. Are you calm now?
Yes. I'm so pissed. I'm so
It's like no, it's raw. It's raw emotion, man. It's raw emotions.
Oh my God.
It's very. I mean, and I don't blame you at all. It's anyone who listens to anyone who has followed that story knows how bad it is. And I don't even know where to start from. Um, I'm so pissed off. It's this big manism. This way of people um flaunting their. And by the way, this Ceemore guy, I had to I also did the same thing you did. Went online. Who is this guy? Who is he? Is he the child of the son of the president? Like, who exactly is this guy? And he's just he's a local champion. Let me just put it
He
that way.
is.
His name does not resonate outside of River State. I mean, if he
True.
goes to Anambra or if he crosses to Delta or something, there's nobody knows him there.
Mm-hmm.
The way you treat and I'm also shocked he's married. He's actually married. So in my mind, I'm thinking, so how is his wife? This entire saga going on. How is his wife seeing, hearing, look? What's coming through her mind?
Mm-hmm.
Those police officers, right? The police officers, the owner of the club, right? The people that are shielding this guy, right? If any of them's sister, daughter is one of those three girls, what are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, if the lady who lost her tooth, right, the incestor, right, if that was the sister of the owner of the club, will he tell his sister, "Don't worry, it's my friend"? Just what exactly is going to happen? I don't get it. And I know, of course, I know what is going to happen is that they will still find a way of talking it out and telling them they'll probably settle out of court. They'll settle it out of court. But because they think these ladies are, there's no law in the land that says women cannot go to the club for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's no law that says when you go to I don't really go clubbing, but I know some little things, right? I know that there's no law that says when you go to club, men are the ones that only own the club, and then women are at their beck and call. There's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you paid for the space. I paid for the space. Yeah, if I want to take my business somewhere else, I can take my business somewhere else. It's very bad business strategy to. I'm now talking about the owner of the club now, right? It's very
Mm-hmm.
bad business strategy to not pay attention to your actual clients. Because in this case, the person that brings the business to you are the females, just like you said, right? You won't see them putting pictures, billboards of men with six pack, and then because of
Mm-hmm.
men with six pack, other men will go to this, unless of course it's an LGBT, it's an alphabet community, right? Otherwise, no one, it's females that attract those men to the place. And I was
Mm-hmm.
saying there, I was like, the thing is, they're very quick to victimize these females. Some people were actually doing victim blaming. They were blaming the ladies. They were like,
Yeah.
what are they doing in the they were like, what are they doing in the club by themselves? Are they not
Oh my
responsible
God.
females? So why don't you just carry? Um, again, my plan is not to make you. I want to bring your blood pressure lower. So I have to be calm in what I say, right? So, so the other thing is this, right? If you're victim blaming the victim, right? Why don't you put that same energy in blaming Seymour, right? In fact, Seymour, so you're saying that ladies, why are they there? This holier than thou attitude, right? Oh, yes, why are the ladies there? Why is a married man in a club breaking a bottle on a lady's head who is not his wife? Why are you
Bless
not looking
you.
at why are you not looking at the whole story, right? Who actually is more righteous here, right? Who
Mhm.
is the person that needs to cast the first stone? I mean, and this big manism. Let me come down into big manism. I see it a lot. I've seen it. I'm tired of seeing it. And do you know the problem is big manism starts from how did I say this? Like it starts from when you are in your first daycare, kindergarten. That's when big manism starts. That's
Mhm.
when I don't. I'm going to take you through memory, like a memory lane of events that every each of these things I'm about to say is an evidence of one person using his status or money to slap the face of someone who doesn't have, and say, you
Mhm.
know what, that's it. I'm bigger than you, so I can get what I want. Right. Number one,
Mhm.
you have kids, and these things I'm about to say, they are not uncommon. People have these are real stories, right? We've had situations where in kindergarten, daycare, right, or let's say primary school, right, they'll fix a child will come first, second, or third, and they'll give the child's report to someone else because the person is the big
Mhm.
man son. That's the
Wow.
beginning of this is how big manism starts. I'm not even going
Mm.
political now. Then you go into secondary school, high school, whatever you want to call it. Big manism is there too. The people that are not supposed to get admission,
Yeah.
somebody just gets it and then they give it to somebody else. They swap
True.
results just because the big man says we gotta settle the big man's child. You know,
Mhm.
big manism does not end in the confines of education. It's in religion too.
True.
Bless you, Papa, Mama. All those things they say. Oh, Papa, Mama. It's part of big manism. Why would you be going to a fellowship in university, a Christian fellowship in university, and the person who is the head of the fellowship, who they call the Papa, right? Maybe the person is in 400 level or 300 level. The person cannot carry his own Bible with his hand. Someone has to carry the Bible for you. That's big manism there. It's everywhere. You can't cook your food, they come and cook for you, right? Some people say they're in the welfare committee department, they wash your clothes. Both of you are students. Like, I don't even understand how this, and it carries on. You go to what do you call it, NYSC, right? NCCF, they do all the fellowship too. Papa, again, they do it again. Papa, Mama, you're laughing now. At least your blood pressure has come down now, right? I'm happy your
Because
blood pressure
you're
has come
right.
down, which was my aim. My aim was to make your blood pressure come down, right? But I'm joking, but I'm not joking. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. The and even when you get to workplace, when you start, like, let's assume you get a job, right? And you're not self-employed, you're working for someone. You have to suck up to some people
Mm.
because that's the only way you can get promoted. Do you know the guys that are in okay, look at Big Brother, for example, right? Big Brother, I know a lot of people are waiting for Big Brother for you to start reviewing and all that. Big Brother, in of itself, that franchise, it's also another telltale sign of big manism.
Of
Many of the
course.
people that even get chosen, many of the people that get chosen, they have to know one person who knows one person who sets them
Mhm.
up, you know
Mhm.
and then when you get there, even when they start selecting candidates, it's always somebody that somebody. I mean, are the people not tired of this thing? Are people not?
Mhm.
When will you tell yourself that big manism is not worth it? I mean, but
Mm.
the truth of the matter, it goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, I agree with D. It's poverty mentality, but the funny thing about big manism or big man syndrome, or well, if you go to Google and you type in BIGMANISM. Nah. And I'm asking everyone who is listening, just go to Google and type in BIGMANISM. It doesn't do justice to it. In fact, it says it's an African problem. It says bigmanism is an African. It's not an. You're laughing. It's not. It's not an African problem. Let me just say it now. You know when you said, let me touch on something else before I let other people speak, right? You know when you talked about how convenient was it that on Wednesdays is when the CCTV does not work.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a CCTV that works on Monday, on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday the battery just goes down, and then on Thursday the battery comes back by itself. You know, it's similar to when the Black Lives Matter, right, in the US, where the police officer are supposed to wear they're supposed to wear what they call this,
Body
cameras.
count.
Yeah, but when it's time for when it's time for when it's time for when there's a black light that does not matter to them, somehow the camera does not work. It's I'm telling you, it's the injustice goes deep, it runs deep. It's
Mm-hmm.
always I keep telling people there are just two classes of people. You know, all this ethnicity, religion, no. It's just you have just two classes of people, the oppressors and the oppressed. That's it.
Period.
All the other people, when it's time to, when the big man, quote and unquote, in air quotes, they're in apostrophes, when the big man wants to step on the poor man, the person that will enable him or her does not consider that they are different race, different ethnicity, different tribe, different country. No, they come
Mm-hmm.
together to do that. They oppress the person they want to oppress. So this is what it is. I don't know how to. This case is the sad part of the whole story is that, and I know most people here will also agree with this, is nothing may happen to Seymour. Nothing may
True.
happen. The very dark man may be on the case or not. I mean, it's great that he's on the case, but the truth of the matter is, all you need is another news cycle, another issue on the news to just quell this.
Mm-hmm.
Something else can come up, and by this time next week, we'll be talking of something else, and all of a sudden, that issue is gone. And they know how to play this game. They know how to lay low until
Mm-hmm.
something else comes into the news, and then all of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
you're back to square one. So in a nutshell, let me round up here. So in a nutshell, bigmanism starts from day one, day zero. It doesn't end till you die. The bigmanism is unfortunately, I don't want to say it's is deep in the culture, but it's a fact that you see everywhere you turn to. There's bigmanism.
True.
It has different names, whether you're in whether wherever country you are, whatever place you are. It is every single place. It is all
True.
fingers. And what did this guy say? All animals are equal, but some animals are more. Judge Orwell. Some animals are more equal than others, right? The five fingers are just not. It's sad. Social justice. This is injustice. This is where they say social injustice. This is what we're talking about, right? That lady now, who's going to fix her tooth? Who's going to fix that tooth? You know, yeah, I agree with that person. Nepotism, elitism is different. Yeah, that's exactly. There are different names for it. It's just exhausting. We'll see how it goes. Let me end on this note because I know most people also watch Big Brother, right? Let me end on this note, right? When Big Brother starts, this is one more laughter for you. One more reason for you to laugh, Glory, right? When Big Brother starts, I want to expose another big manism in a way, right? When Big Brother starts, right, and you have 20, 24 contestants and all that, watch how within the first 2, 3 weeks, people will start saying, "This is the person I gel with. This is the person I'm going to vote for," and that's on the outside, right? But on the housemates in the house, right? Watch how big manism is going to show its head. There will be some housemates that some housemates will not want to nominate, not
Mm-hmm.
because just because this person's dad is a politician outside, so I'm not going to. This is everywhere, I'm telling you. And
True.
how do you, I don't know. I mean, there's no way around this thing. Let's hear from other people. But yeah, to me, I know this is going to disrupt all the I'll be pleasantly surprised if Seymour finds himself, if he pays for his crime. I'll be happy, actually. And yeah, and all these issues of um women are not part. Without a woman will a man exist. Just remember that. Even without a woman, a man will not even exist to begin with, right? All right, thanks. Let's hear that, people.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much for that. I wanted to ask you a question though, because I'm really concerned. David, I don't know if you can come back quickly. I'm really concerned. Let me drop the link, guys. Sorry, I want to ask David a question. He's a medical doctor, so I'm really concerned about the girl who got her head broken with a bottle. So my major concern for her is she gonna be okay? Do you think, even though the whole thing happened like last week Wednesday, do you think she could get into a relapse of some sort? Like, is she okay? That's the question I want to ask David. And that's the reason I think the police, they really need to take this matter serious, that Ceemore needs to pay for the medicals of those girls, right? So David, if you can please answer that question. I don't know if you can come back or maybe you drop a response in the comment section. Okay, I think he's back. Yeah, guys, apologies, but I just want to hear from David. Okay, David, welcome back.
Yeah. Sorry, you had a question, right? I heard that part. I just said what was the question? Sorry, I was logging off.
Yes. So about the girl that got her head broken with a bottle, my
Okay.
concern for her is if she's going to be okay. Because I don't know if you saw some of her TikTok videos. Her face is swelling up. Her eyes are swelling. So what are the issues that she could be facing or probably be dealing with right now?
Okay. So you want to know? I know you broke a little bit there, but you want to know if the girl, the one that hit her head, right? The one that has like a scalp issue laceration. Okay. So if she's in a better saner climb, she's in a better place, what they will do a CT scan. They'll do a CT scan of the head um immediately, like within as soon as possible, to see if there's any fractures, if there's bleeding in the brain itself, right? And some of those things don't happen. Some of the bleeding you can appreciate them immediately. Some of them it takes days before they actually accumulate, right? So they might have to repeat the scan if then they will check her, there's something they call GCS, Glasgow Coma Scale. There's a way you can neurologically check someone to know if there is some deficits, neurologic deficit, right? And if
Mm,
there is deficit, just because there's no deficit the first 1 hour does not mean the deficit will not show up 1 day later, right? So they usually want to keep them for a while to be sure that it's stable. But there are some fractures, there are some problems that when you see those things, it actually is more worrisome, right? So for example, if the eyes around the eye, they call that in raccoon eyes, right? So if the
mm,
eyes, the eye, so the eye, your eyelid, for example, so around the eyeball itself, if it's swollen, and it's the skin there is hyperpigmented, is darker than normal, then maybe there's a
mm,
fracture. Maybe the bone protecting the skull, the eye socket has been fractured. If behind the ears, so if you look at your ears, you take your ear, your pinna, you pull your ears, right? The bone behind the ear, if it's fractured, right, you can have blood there, right? And that's a problem because that means the skull itself has been fractured. If the nose, if there is if she's bleeding, if something that looks like water comes out from the nose, then she might have a CSF leak, and that's a fracture of one of the bones of the skull again. So I'm hoping that it's just a superficial skin issue, subcutaneous, like this issue that is just bleeding. But the least they can do for that lady is do a CT scan. That's a CAT scan. Another name for it is a CAT scan of the head. That's the least they can do. And if it's fine, it's fine. And if it's not fine, then somebody has to pay for it. Hopefully she doesn't have. It's not for her to come out though. It's encouraging that she can still talk. She can still. Yeah, that's encouraging because if it was really bad, she won't be able to. She will actually already have some weakness in the hands. Feet, part of her body will be showing some problems, speech, slur speech, and all that. Like someone that has a stroke, but not really a stroke, just because there's a midline shift. Uh, the answer I gave is I was trying to bring down your blood pressure. It looks like I'm trying to send it back up. I don't want to send it up, but
I'm worried. I'm
but I'm
worried
just telling you
because
that's the fact. That's the fact, though. So,
oh my
and the
God.
one that has the one that lost her tooth, the at that age, when you have your permanent teeth, it does not grow. It does not come back. Once you've lost your, how initially you have 20 when as a child, you replace your tooth, right, as a child, right? Now, once you've had your permanent teeth, right, you don't, if it's gone, if it's the roots is to come off the root canal, then sorry, you have to get an artificial one, something else, a make believe. So, but the guy should see more should be paying for all these things. If it was in a better country, they won't be doing things like that. That's going to the or going to the yeah, exactly. Yeah, she might look okay, but she might not be okay. That's what I'm saying. So but this is how many? It's a week now, right? I don't know how long it's been. It's been how many days now? It's been
Probably,
more
yeah.
than yeah, it's been more than at least 7 days that the thing happened. So anything that should be wrong with that should have been declared by now. That thing should declare itself by now. So they should stitch it, they'll clean it up. Most likely what they will have done is that they will have gone to a clinic where they will just wash it and stitch it up. They did not, they most likely did not do a CT scan, and that's where the
I
problem
don't
is.
think they do.
And that's where the problem is. Sorry, yeah. I can run away now. I might come back at the end. I might come
Oh,
back
okay.
before the end of the whole show. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you
Thanks.
so much, David.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Bye bye.
Guys, you see what I was saying about Seymour and these cohorts paying for these girls' medicals. I asked that question because some days ago I saw the video of the particular girl. Her eyes looked a bit swollen, right? But it wasn't so bad. And then I now saw another video that she did. She was in a car. She did a video. And this thing that David just described, it was like there was a bit of dark circles around the eyes, and the eyelids were a bit swollen. And that got me scared because I'm not a medical doctor, but I kind of have an idea that that is not a good sign. And that's the reason I asked that question. Another thing that made me scared for these girls is there's a way you brutalize someone, and even though they are walking around that like they're fine, it doesn't mean that they're entirely okay. There's internal bleeding, there's internal issues, internal whatever. And I know someone that had a tricycle incident. It was in this keke, and he had an accident. There was a collision, and there was no bruises, nothing, but he died. The moment they took him to the hospital, he died. And when they checked, they said it was internal bleeding. I'm not praying that anything happens to those girls, but I believe that even though this thing has been over a week, they need continuous checkup, at least for the next 1 month. Continuous checkup. Because from the descriptions that they gave about how they were assaulted, these were men, hefty men, well trained men, barbaric men that put their hands on those girls. They used their boots, they used their hands, they used bottles and any other type of weapon that they had with them. So it's not a small case. All right, let's hear from Queen Omo. Welcome, Queen.
Hello, darling.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I'm gonna need you to calm down.
Queen, this is Nigeria. Nigeria does not give you the space to calm down when things like this happen.
I think it's about time we discuss something. Let me tell you something. Nigeria is the way it is, not because of the politicians, but because of the people in it.
True. True.
The reason why Nigeria is at a standstill and Nigeria can never be better, will never be better, is because people use their connections, people use their status, people use what they have and what they can do to oppress people, treat people like garbage, treat people like the bottom of their shoe, and they
Mm-hmm.
allow people time and time again to what's it called to get away with it. The guy that that brutalized those girls, he would not be punished. We know he would not be punished because the police does not do anything. It is time to talk about how the big problem in Nigeria is with the mentality of if you have money, all your problems and all the things you need done is at your fingertips.
True.
It's like when you have money and when you have a certain level or a certain status, you feel untouchable because the government, they become, what's it called? They become at your leisure. Banks go at your leisure. It's just a lot of things. That is why when an average Nigerian that's used to getting their way and living a certain lifestyle comes to America, they're not telling me rubbish and spirit nurses saying, do you know who I am? Auntie, who are you? Who are you? Welcome. Welcome to America where a 25-year-old can be a medical doctor just like you are. I'm very confused.
Hmm.
The problem is the people. The problem is the people. Time and time again in Nigeria, I have watched people get disrespected. What happened to the Benin massacre? Didn't Benin just get brutalized? People died. Thousands of people died. It is not 200. If they say 200 one more time, thunder will fire whoever says 200. That is not 200. A lot of people died. And what did the so-called president do? Nothing. These are the issues. Nigeria has an issue. God bless the person that spoke. It starts from when you are young, when your father is picking you up, rich kids picking is picking you up. You talk to people anyhow, you do anyhow, and it grows into bad behaved adults.
Mm-hmm.
You went to a club, you didn't see your fellow man to beat. You now went to go and be beating girls.
Imagine.
I don't care what they did. You're a bitch and you will forever be a bitch. You were fighting another girl. You were fighting females. You were beating them to the point that one of them might have brain damage. And nobody could check you. Because you're what? Because you have money? These are the issues of Nigeria. It has been an issue time and time again. People get their way in that country way too much, which is why I'm trying to tell you, let's be honest with each other. Even though Nigeria is a religious country, spiritual country where people, there are different types of spirituality, everything. People, as long as somebody makes it, they don't see anything bad with Nigeria
True.
anymore.
True.
That's the problem.
True.
Two things can happen to a fellow Nigeria. Either you make it in Nigeria and you don't care about the problems of Nigeria, or you, what's it called? Or you jackpot and Nigeria is no longer your problem. But the problems are still there.
Mm-hmm.
The problems are
Mm-hmm.
still there, which is why they see a person that's from abroad like a mini god. Why am I looking at you like a mini god? Because of what? Because of what? These are all the problems and will be continue to be the problem. I have an uncle that went to Nigeria recently because his mom's account was, what's it called? Alhaja's account had millions in it that she could not access. This uncle walked into GT Bank, walked in like he had walking like he was somebody. I'm not saying he's not somebody, but he was just from America. Walked in. They not even the people, the bank managers not even. It was a director that handled him, and he got an account that was not in his name. Nothing. He got it open, took out the money and everything. How were you able to do that when it wasn't even your name?
Hey!
Alaja is in America. Let me even say, she is in America minding her business while her kid is moving money for her because he walked in and then when he was done, he greased their palm with like 300K and he was out. And I'm just like, how is this okay?
Hmm.
How is this okay? You can do anything in Nigeria as long as you have money.
And accents.
An accent. Like accent because it's ridiculous to me. I don't understand. Like I think, and that's another thing. Another thing that comes with all of this is disrespect for the people that are poor and proper. There is too much disrespect in that land.
Mm-hmm.
I've
True.
always said it. I said if I was God, I will answer the prayers of people, not the rich, not the because it's crazy. What gives you the right? What gives you the right to treat me like something like trash because you have money? What does you have money have to do with me?
Exactly.
These celebrities are not nice. I don't want anybody. Like, that's the thing. If I hear one more time that these celebrities, people are not nice in Nigeria. Nigeria, I think we have to admit to ourselves that Nigerians are badly behaved. They're badly behaved. Let's use Kid Wire for an example. Kid Wire,
That one.
Kid Wire irks my soul.
Oh God, that guy.
Kid Wire irks my soul. Kid Wire and Davido. Unpopular opinion. Davido irks my soul. Kid Wire irks my soul. This is why the reason why I say this. The reason why I say this is because Kid Wire, you just like to flaunt your money. Okay, you're a rich kid. Make we hear what? Make we hear word. You just talk anyhow, do anyhow, all because your father has money. Emphasis on your father has money. You have not built, and you will never get to the level that your father is, even if you on your best day. But because of the name that you have, you think you can talk to anybody anyhow, do anyhow. And I don't understand how this is okay. How is this okay? How is this okay? The funny thing is that the reality is that these people, I mean, the girls that were hurt, I'm sorry, but unless Nigerians come together and bring money for them, those people will not be held responsible for nothing. They will not. It's too much corruption going on, too much death, too much blood spillage for uselessity. Nigeria, let me tell you something, my dear. Nigeria is not a country to die for. I will say it with my full chest. It's not a country to die for. And you know the funny thing about Nigeria? People in Nigeria come to America with bad behavior. Let me give you an example. We have this organization in America. We have this Nigerian association. It was created by a Nigerian person that is my age. We have it, everything like that. First of all, in that group, it's 1,000 of us in that group. When I tell you every single day, I'm fighting somebody, I'm insulting somebody. It was recently I said I'm done. Because the thing is that I don't understand how a member will come and start insulting the president. Unprovoked, by the way. Insulted her life. Unprovoked. I don't think you understand. Unpro freaking vote. This uncle insulted the president of the association. She's not be God, she's just the president, but you insulted her, called her useless, called her all types of names. And it was a girl. The president of this organization, she's 5 foot. A 5 foot is even being generous. This girl is konkolo as hell. You a grown ass man. You insulting her, disrespecting her. All the guys were watching. Nobody said anything. It was
Seriously.
me. It was me that said something. And then they came for me. And I tell people all the time, where your own craze end is where my own begin. Let's go, dear. I have time. I went back and forth with them for like 4 hours, my girl. I went back with grown ass men. And I responded to them. I said, if your mother born a bitch, just say that. Men don't act like men again. That's another thing. Men act more like a bitch than a woman does. They went back and forth. I don't think you understand. You went back and forth with a kunkolo girl. You were insulting her, calling all types of names. And your fellow men cannot check you. Your fellow men cannot check you. All because we did not add you properly to the right group because we mistakenly removed you. You were talking. These
Oh
are the
God.
I don't think you understand. People will come to America. People will come to my office for help. These people will be like, do you know who I am in America? Who are you? I don't know you. Is your name Otedola? Is your name Dangote? Is your name Adeleke? Because I don't know you. Even if Davido, I don't care if he's rich. Even if Davido comes to my office, I'm still gonna treat you like a person because that's what you are. Your father's money is not doing shit for me.
Period.
So I don't understand where the logic is. Everything. My girl, let's not talk about slut shaming. Hello? No, no, I'm sorry. Let me not keep people holding. But we have to talk about it. Let me talk about this. So in this group, right? I gotta give an example. In this group, right? Because I consider myself a very free babe. I'm not an ashawo, but I'm not innocent and I'll never claim to be innocent. I'm gonna be 30 on Wednesday. I'm not a child. My mates are having kids. You get what I'm saying? My dear, that was how one day like that they opened a topic about sex. Like sex. They just opened a topic. And I talked. I said my own thing. What's it called? I think they asked a question along the line of, does good sex matter? I said before encore. Like, are we just gonna be sitting there like before encore? Ever since that day, they have had this stigma about me. They have labeled me a whore.
Wow.
My dear, no, they have labeled me a whore because that to the point that the guys are coming into my DM showing me their thing because of the way I talk.
No, that's barbaric.
It was not one of them that has to went. One of them I went to go and looked at my LinkedIn. I said, "Just do this girl. You're very established." I said, "No, go. Then I go fire you and your mama." I said, "Who the hell told you, babe? I just be an anyhow girl." I said, "You guys asked a question and I answered it truthfully. And now you people think, babe, I will sleep with anything walking or that I'm just a free loose girl like that because I made a statement." I said, "This is a man and woman's world. What you can do, I can probably do it better." My dear, but these are the issues. And bear in mind, though, these are people that are abroad now. Most of them are raised in Nigeria, but you see the mentality.
It's sick.
You see the mentality. I said, I said, all of you, I said, I will never sleep with any of you. I don't even know you. Lose my number. I don't ever. But the fact that I made a statement, y'all just judge me on that aspect. Judge me for that aspect. So if I go to a club, I'm considered wayward, right? Me, I like to party. I like a good time. So I
Sick.
don't understand. It's disrespectful. It's not even about man. It's not about our big manism. It's not about that. The problem of Nigeria as a country, plenty, and the majority of the problem is the people. They just
Hmm.
don't know how to act. They don't, and then money makes it even worse. But somebody else can talk. I'll come back.
Thank you so much, Queen.
Bye.
Thank you so much. And
Bye.
guys, I totally agree with Queen. You see that thing about the people themselves actually elevating these so-called big men or big women, putting them on this ridiculously high pedestal. It is very rampant here. Just have money, just dress well, just look good, just have just have connection. You will see how people will be bowing down and worshiping you. It is that bad. But anyways, let's hear from Happy. Happy Mel, you're welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome. How
How
are
are
you?
you? I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Well, this topic is a little bit too deep. Bigmanism is there, then there's this war against women. It has been there. But
true.
then, since it's a big problem for us in this country that if a man treats his wife well, they call him a simp.
Mm-hmm.
It is really deep rooted. I'll start
Mm-hmm.
with telling you a very quick story of this bigmanism issue. So in my area here, there's this guy that has hotels. It's like he bought a whole area and built hotels, blah, 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 blah. Now, a story came out that he was harassing children, that's male children, all these teenagers. He will lure them into his hotel, sleep with them, then
Is it
give them
happening in
money.
Delta? Is it Delta State?
No, this is Lagos.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it happened, I think, late last year or early this year. Now he has been doing it and getting away with it. You know, his teenagers, once you give them iPhone, they'll let it go. Now, this particular guy, I think he was 15 years old. Then he did it to the guy. Then the parents noticed quickly that this guy is acting straight. What happened? They started questioning him. Okay, he said, okay, that he pointed the man that this man slept with him, promised him iPhone. The father of that child reported to the police. The man that owns the hotel, the big man, gave the DPO 10M, and that matter died there. The man was frustrated. So I think there was a gathering somewhere, and the man mentioned that, this is my issue, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, this matter will not die. One of the big men there sat down there, made a call to Abuja, and they came and picked that guy up.
Hmm.
You see, from Abuja, they came, picked him up from there to Abuja. So this
Power,
issue
power,
has been
power.
happening. This issue he has been doing it to a lot of teenage boys and getting away with it. The whole family knows he is married to someone all this nonsense we do. Now, power really passed power. This Ceemore issue, he may die there, but I would like to believe that there is someone that can pick up this issue. But since it's already
Mm-hmm.
in social media, very dark man, blah, 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 I don't know how this case will go. But because I'm guessing maybe because it's women that we are in a club, we are now with the holier than thou. You see, this is why Christianity is looking like a curse. And I'm a believing Christian, don't get me wrong. But it's looking like Christianity is a curse on our neck in this, our Africa. Because we lose all our sense of reasoning when any issue that we deem it, oh, you're a sinner. Sinners are human beings too. They deserve the basic human treatment. Now, I learned something recently. You know, some people have never heard of Jesus Christ. Some people have not heard and they die. What will happen to them? They will not go to hell. They will be judged with morality. So whether you know, whether you've not, as far as you've not heard of Jesus, but there is right and there is wrong. If you live your life committing murder, both in the world of men, murder is not good. It's considered a terrible act. It's not even bad people in the street. Some of them don't rape women. Some of them don't kill. They draw their line. So even with devil, you cannot tell me that you treat people poorly because they seemed like prostitutes. Then you treat them poorly. Everybody should keep quiet. I heard they are sinners. What is that? They deserve basic human being. These girls were not doing anything wrong, but I wanted to draw attention to it. Now, this whole war against women, that women don't even have right. The other day, a useless guy was asking me, I don't know, he didn't even ask me. He just saw me. He waited for me at night. It was dark. The load was very lonely, and I gave him my number. So when he tested me, the first thing he told me, hey, can I send him my picture and come and see him? So I said, what? Excuse you. What do you mean by that? Can I send you my picture and come and see you? Where is that how you approach women? I just said no. I left it like that. This later, he now tested me again. This one I'm not responding to. I've ghosted him. I said, you didn't. In my mind, you did not approach me like a man is supposed to approach a lady. I'm not a wayward person, even if I'm mad. So he was now, I have to come and see him. If not, if he sees me on the road, he will follow me back to the house. I said, excuse me. I said, are you threatening me? He said, oh, I hope I'm ready. That he's not threatening me, that he will keep to what he has said, blah, blah, blah. I said, really? Really? You see how men view women in this country that is not fair. When you say no, they say, oh, apply pressure. There's nothing like apply pressure. When a woman says no, it means no. So there is this war against women. It has been there. They don't take you serious. If a big man asks you out and say, hey, this useless guy, I'm even trying to help your destiny, what does that mean? I don't need your help. It is very subtle, but it's there, and we don't want to address it. They assume that once they throw money at you, you have to accept. Look at how they treated these women in the club. They were spraying money, sitting on the armchair as in this, because you guys are women, we can take over. Why didn't they go and meet other men in other sections and do the same? But they looked around, they saw it was all girls. They said, oh, they cannot come over. The girls did not accept the advances. They were not interested. The world does not revolve around men. Sometimes women just want to have fun. It is not about you. When a woman tells you no, it's not that you have not given her money. It's not that you are not handsome. It's not that you've not said. She does not want your attention. Go with it. But no, it's always there. Once you bruise their ego, they will resort to either physically attacking you or they haul insults at you. Who taught them this nonsense? If you're a woman that grew up in this country, you cannot tell me that you've not experienced one, especially when they gather in clique. If a man is alone and you address him alone, he will leave you alone. But once they gather in clique, they will not resort. See that this man will not have attacked these girls alone. They would have watched him black and blue in that club. But because he had a band of hooligans, that's why he was able to perpetrate that act. And those useless men, people's fathers and husbands, assisted him. What is Mopo 19? It's just one of those offices. Mopo 19 is a new GRA because I lived in Port Harcourt and I've never ever heard of this stupid Ceemore guy. I lived in Port Harcourt how many years? 14 years. I just came to Lagos which day? Who is Ceemore? From where? All these people that when they make small money, they buy 2 cars and they will start throwing their shoulders. Unfortunately for us, this particular leadership on ground, they are the most useless. Because at least if this thing happened earlier on, this particular APC people will be the end of this country. Because it's like nobody can even... There was a time that someone will hold these guys accountable. But as it stands now, nobody is saying anything. Maybe he knows Wike. Who knows? Who cares? Even if he knows Wike, is Wike the god of River State? Will all of us run away from Wike? This is what happens when we empower useless people, all because of money. This our worship and love for money will land us in trouble. Everybody will pretend it does not concern because your family has not been touched. It does not concern me. That is why to rally people for one issue, we now say, oh, activists. Must we wait for activists to come to our aid? Those activists, are
It's
they
so
not, don't they
exhausting.
have family members?
It's so
This is
exhausting.
how this matter will die. That every new day we are handling one issue that should not even come up. Every new day we are fighting. Benue last day, these young women this week, next week again, something will happen. Why can't we? It's been a Nigerian a curse at this point. We will not sleep peacefully and wake up every day. We are on. Is it the Benue attack or the Fulani men trying to take over? Nobody is sleeping when again, but all of us want to pretend that everything is okay. We are all pretending until they touch us, then will now become serious. This whole bigmanism, whatever, it starts with us. Because even in your street now, if you look around, you see people that they assume they are big men. Once they walk, hey, chairman, 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 they will do something wrong. You will not penalize him. No, it's chairman. So until something happens to us personally, we will not take this matter. This issue now, you see that nothing will come out of it. It is not that we are prophesying doom. No, it is how this country has always been. This war against women, it has
Sadly.
to be tackled. We are not safe.
Sadly.
We are not safe.
At
That is
all.
how they are picking teenage young girls, and all these older married men will be harassing them, sleeping with them. At the end of the day, you call them prostitutes. They are not prostitutes. You were the one that approached a 16-year-old girl and started throwing money at her. When she gets to
Mm-hmm.
23 and you people feel like you've used that up, you now tag her a prostitute. She's not
Mm-hmm.
marriageable. Meanwhile, you go and tell your son to look for a virgin. Which virgin? The
Mm-hmm.
one you started harassing from 14? Look at the man that raped the daughter, 16-year-old daughter, in which state self. Do you see how these evil men in our homes that we call fathers, we call our husbands, they are the ones perpetrating acts against women? How can a father rape the own daughter? You will keep your niece at home. The husband will go and be touching. There was this doctor that came out, I think 3 or 4 years ago, when the wife raised alarm. The mother of the man called and said, forget that matter now. Is it the only person that raped the child? You can imagine what a woman that gave birth to your own child, your child is harassing a
That
child.
makes
You
sense.
see, the family members of Ceemore is calling the girls and harassing those girls to keep quiet.
Mm.
You see that the matter is rooted from our families. Why would I, if you are my cousin or my uncle, you are harassing, why would I call them and tell them? I will tell you to pursue the law to the last. A man that will attack a stranger will attack me on the road. I don't feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
This thing that we use family
Absolutely.
because it's our family, we should cover them. Cover what? Cover what? We need good leaders. Let's be very honest. We need good leaders in this country. I know we've given up that there will never be. We need good leaders. Unfortunately, our military is not even our hope because those ones, they are out of question. There's no hope for us. Because I wrote in the comments that we need our own Ibrahim Traore, because a leader like Ibrahim Traore, you see that even the civil servants don't mess up. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot commit this kind of an act and you get away. Who will you bribe? They will pick the person up now, bribe and see. Who will you really bribe and get it? Because what's happening here is that they are bribing their way out of it. This is why we need good leaders that hold people accountable. I think that's all for now, Glo. Try and calm
Thank
down. This
you.
country, you don't have to die for Nigeria. Nigeria will kill you before your time. That's
Sweet.
just the truth. We are not dying for it. The country will kill us before our time. Anyway,
Honestly,
I'll be in the comment
I really
section.
appreciate all you have said. And you see, what was really driving me crazy was when this guy, Barry Jackman, he put out the first video. He was the one that revealed that when he spoke with the girls, they had mentioned to him that the first time they went to the police, I think was it the DPO, a woman told the girls they should go and settle. That was what she told the girls. So, and this is a woman saying it to fellow women, telling these girls, people should go and settle. Settle what? She did not summon the Ceemore and these people. So, according to Very Dark Man, it was their most senior officer. I don't remember the rank that they called him, but according to Very Dark Man, he spoke very well about this particular man, that it was the man that insisted on pursuing this matter properly. Although I am still expecting more from the man. He said the man said the club should be shut down by now. So for me, I'm thinking, well, don't just say it, enforce it, shut down the club. That is what it should be. I mean, lead by example. Don't just say these things to show that you're working or you're serious. Shut it down. So he said, Very Dark Man said it was when
It's always
this,
women. I'll tell you, what were you
yeah,
wearing? You were attacked. What were you wearing? What does what I was
exactly.
wearing consign with what happened to me?
Exactly. So he said that it was when the senior police officer
Officer.
stepped in that the woman now said no, that she did not tell the girls to just go and settle, that she was just lying, trying to change everything. And it just goes to show you how corrupt the police force can tend to get, because I have had my own personal experience too. And that is why this thing is really pissing me off. It's looking like I'm going to lose
It's,
my mind. Because
yes, now.
I remember when the first time I rented an apartment, it was a BQ. That was where I started my own life of living alone. It was a BQ. This was after I had gone through hell. I shared my story about how I was duped, first place I paid for. So imagine having that trauma, and I'm thinking, okay, I have peace of mind here. And then the person that I rented from, a woman, apparently she had sexual relations with the ZDP or whoever at a particular police station around that environment where I was living. So she collected money for service charge. She was not providing electricity. She was not paying for water treatment. So I'm living in the compound, and I had nothing, which was frustrating because I had a job at the time, a 9 to 5 job. So when I would complain and complain, and then there were three other people that were living in the same compound, they were also complaining. You won't believe that this woman went to the police station to tell the DPO that we were disturbing her. So the DPO now sent his boys to come and wait. See, this is why I'm angry. Yeah, he now sent his boys to come and serve us letter that we should come to the police station. And me, I'm not gonna lie. That year, this was 2018. I had hot temper. Why? Because out of my naivety, out of my good girl, nice girl, I was duped. I slept in an uncompleted building for 1 whole week. Uncompleted
Wow.
building. And that story is crazy.
Okay.
I don't want to even talk about it. So that thing gave me hot temper, because for me, I said in this Lagos, people will not dupe me again.
They'll
So I
not
now
do me
entered this
again.
one. You now guess what? That day when I was in the office, I told the security that when this woman returns, because she left the compound, she left us in darkness, no light. Me, I didn't have generator, so how was I to cope? Guess what? I told the security guy, when this woman comes to this compound to pick up her things, call me. And the guy called me. See, God so kind. My office was close by. I left my office. I took bike. I came back to the estate. I didn't have car. Walk and carry leg trek. When I got to the house, I rushed this woman. Oh, happy. I'm not even kidding you. I rushed this woman. Eh? No, I'm not kidding you. The truth is, I don't know how to fight, but my own is, you will give me what I paid for.
Of
Because
course.
I was working at the time. How much was I earning? My salary was 104,000. So my office at the time, they said they are removing tax, they are removing
Pension.
what they call pension. So my take home was 74,000.
Mad.
Then I was saving 50,000 with this GT Target account for my house rent.
Okay.
So do you
Wow.
understand how angry I was that I was taking my takeaway personally was
Your take home was
24,000 in 2018.
20,000.
You want to come and ruin my life? See, when I saw this woman, I rushed this woman. Happy God. I jumped her. And I wasn't the only one though, because this woman left us for like weeks. She
Enough is
disappeared.
enough now.
Uh-uh. So I rushed her. I jumped, and she's big. You see this woman, she's big like a giant. She's taller than me. Me, I'm very petite. I jumped on her like this. Me and her were fighting. I'm never giving you one fighting. I jumped on this woman. I said, you will give me what I will you give me money. But guess guess what? When the woman now, she ran because people were gathering us. My other neighbors too, they were holding the woman. Because it's big. She now ran. I went to call the police that we are beating her. Oh. They should come. Oh. This was where I really experienced firsthand bigmanism in this country. See,
Okay.
she said we were beating her. She just came to our house so that we were beating her. I rushed the woman. I was following her around the compound. I said, today I will deal with you. I said, sit on my head, but I will make sure I poke you. Here, if you see me, I was following this woman. The police now came. Oh, they now said all of us should come to station. All of us went.
Okay.
Oga DPO was looking at me. He asked the woman, who touched you? She pointed at me. The man was laughing. He said, it's this girl. He said,
Unbelievable.
he said, oh, he said, it's this one. They looked at me. Because at the time I was very skinny. Oh, now I've added flesh. I was very tiny. They said, "This one." I was looking at the man like this. I said, sir, let me tell you what happened. The man said, shh. The woman was now lying and lying and lying. They now asked me for my own part. I now said my own part. Now, the DPO knew that she was lying. But guess what? The DPO said that I should come and write my case in a file.
Person.
I said, what about her? Is she not the person that you should be holding? Because my neighbors too were there. All of them, they were not like, no, 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 that it was all of us that fought the woman because this is what she did. But this woman was now, she was speaking Yoruba and telling the man, they beat me, my neck is paining me, my hand, inside the man's office. I will hit you up. I was rushing the woman again. See, what saved me that night? Because the woman said she wanted me to sleep in jail. It was my neighbor. The guy is from a wealthy home. So his father is a chief or king or something. I don't know. So he now called his friend that is a lawyer. I think the friend followed us that night actually because the friend came to meet us. Yes, he came to meet us at the police station. So it was his friend that now stepped in as a lawyer. The guy was speaking big legal terms. That, you cannot touch this woman. So they really defended me. But me, I made sure that I laid my hands on that woman's
On that
face. I
woman.
told
Of
her
course.
I would touch you. And I did. And I did not regret it. I told the man I don't regret it because this woman suffered me. Look at how much is my salary. I came to rent BQ and you are stressing me out. So what I'm saying is, if not for the help of my neighbors and my neighbor's lawyer, the woman was telling the man right there, the DPO, that they need to throw me in jail for
In
touching
jail.
her. And the DPO too said that was what they wanted to do. So they wanted me to write case in the file. And when police is telling you to write your case in the file, if
They will
they are the ones
manipulate you.
dictating to you, they will
Yeah.
tell you what to write. I don't know. I don't know. Some people
You
think I'm actually
implicate
stupid.
yourself. You
Yeah.
implicate yourself.
They
You
will
need a
tell you
lawyer
what to write.
present.
See, that case, my only victory from that day was that I touched that woman because that was the
Yes.
plan. You frustrated me for 6 months. 6 months I was living in that compound, only me and that woman. Electricity was inconsistent and I had paid for all these things. So it was like 6 months later that these other people now, okay, not 6 months, but in between, they moved in one by one. So we were four plus half, five. This woman showed me shaggy. I suffered. And I was begging her. Oh, you will see, I will send messages, text messages. I will call her. She will not pick. She will block me. Then she will unblock me. I was so frustrated. And my BQ was quite small. So imagine the inconvenience. I could not cook. How much did I even have to go and be eating in restaurants? I was frustrated. I said, since you don't want to answer me, I will touch you. And I did, and I was proud of myself, you know.
Of course.
But the fact that the DPO there was saying that because the woman rubbed his head and was crying, they touched me. You want to put me inside jail. I was scared though. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. But I said, no, you're not going to go scot-free. This woman, me and you will sleep inside that jail together, you know. So that is why things like this really aggravate me because
It has
I have
gotten
experienced
worse.
it. Sis, I've experienced it 3 times. Even in this my adult year, this happened 3 years ago. I've experienced it, and I know how hopeless you
Can
can
be.
be when you are in that situation. So when I saw this girl's case, I almost went
It
mad
hit home. Yeah.
because it's painful. It's painful. Oh.
treat you like you are it's not even an immigrant. Why would they treat an immigrant like this? Imagine you
Hmm.
being a citizen. So which country will you not go and feel safe if your own country will treat you like this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, Jim saying last, Glory benefited from a little from
Before uncle,
BIGMANISM.
your
And
survival in this country, you need it.
you see, and when it goes south, it is a very ugly situation. It's an ugly situation when BIGMANISM goes out, when it is used for oppression. It's at
Mm,
least the one that really helped me was the guy was in his legal rights and
mm.
he knew the law and he was quoting my rights for me. Me, at that point in time, my sense of reasoning was gone. My own is I wanted to beat that woman, even though I know she was going to beat me. Yes, so I knew she was going to beat me, but my own is I want to, my fingers needs to
Your
be
pound of
imprinted
flesh,
on your
Abby.
body. Oh my God. But that was
Yes,
then, no, I don't
painful.
fight anymore.
No, that one is warranted. Be excused.
Honestly. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Someone
Happy.
said something about Senator Natasha. Are you seeing that issue too? It's all in the same line of oppression.
Serious? You see, Senator
It's just
Natasha
different,
as well, yeah?
different.
It's like
That
I, I can't even talk about it the way I want to talk about it because it's like if you talk too much, they'll also carry you and rope you into the situation. People that their voice is very loud, if you notice, they are based abroad.
yes, of course, that's true.
So
Apart
we are
from
here, we're
VDM,
watching.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're here, we're watching.
Okay, well,
All right. Thank you so much,
later.
Happy. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
All right, guys. Before I think people are laughing. I mean, I'm seeing people laughing that are glory with your petite self. Guys, see, let me tell you something, eh? There's a way oppression will deal with you in this country, and you'll be quiet, you'll be acting like a peace-loving citizen. But once in a while, you too, you need to match energy for energy. You need to match energy for energy. I'm a peace loving person. My mom, I took after my mom. My mom can, you slap my mom will tell you we sue for peace. But sometimes this is not the answer. Anyways, before we speak with Mr. A, I want to appreciate Annie J for giving a token to this channel. Annie, thank you so much. I really appreciate. I see that Erica is also asking about how to Annie is making me laugh. And he said, anger will make you big as Goliath, my dear. It is so. You know, when you finish fighting and you now go back to your comfort zone, you now be shaking and you're crying that, oh my God, did I do that? That's what happens. But yeah, thank you so much, Annie. I really appreciate. Erica, Erica, you're asking. I saw that Mr. A actually responded to you and Annie. So if you want to give a token to the channel, there is a dollar sign beside the chat. All right, on YouTube. So if you click on the dollar sign, you can take it up from there. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. D is saying, "Na craze, then they take cure craze. Period. Nobody has monopoly of madness. Absolutely." Zami said sometimes you gotta bring out the hood in you. Yes, so yes, you have to. Anyways, let's speak with Mr. A. Guys, if you want to contribute to the conversation, please click in the on the link in the comment section. All right, Mr. A, you're welcome, and thank you so much for assisting Annie and Erica with explanations on how to gift the channel. Thank you very much.
Well, as a matter of fact, Glory, I've actually been laughing in the background. I mean, about you, you
Mr. A, I have to speak to my rights.
know. Is there any such thing as small manism or something like that?
Small.
Because or petite manism or something, because that is it that big manism doesn't actually suit you one bit at all.
Mine is petite manism.
Petite manism.
Nah, I'm sorry. I had to. I mean, when you keep enduring and enduring oppression, frustration, and you know your hands are tied, like you can't do anything because you're afraid of breaking the law, sometimes the knot in your head just goes off.
And in all honesty, I think this is actually all. It's actually getting. It's becoming a build up, especially in Nigeria. The build up is actually getting crazy at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's now in a situation where probably about 5 years ago you would have said, okay, oppression is not that bad, but now it is actually 1,000 times worse than it was
True.
previously. It's
True.
1,000 times worse. I mean, I mean, okay, I've got to say this, when I'm actually back in Nigeria. I mean, sometimes I go to lounges and clubs and stuff like that, and I just, just because I always like to just check my environment and stuff like that. And I remember this time I actually went with a friend, and this person actually, we were just there, chilling in this club, in yeah, at Ikeja. And for me, I always love this thing about everybody respect each other. So there came this what's it called? There's this guy who was what's it? Is it what's it? He's an Arab guy. He was an Arab
Okay.
guy. He came and he started flaunting. He came with his mopole and stuff like that. And the minute they come like that, they feel like they own everybody. You know, so
Once they have that security around them, right?
yeah, once they got that security around it, they feel like they actually own um the whole club, or because they are buying bottles and stuff like that. And I told my friend, I said, you know what, let's just, for me, I just don't even like trouble because I know I'm actually in a situation whereby I don't know anybody, especially in Nigeria. So when I'm in Nigeria, I come and see my parents and, I'm back out, So I haven't got networks, I haven't got connects, I haven't got, so I'm actually in, I'm actually out, And normally when I'm actually around people, I always like to check out my environment, because I always want to make sure that, one, I can protect myself, and I'm not going to be in a situation whereby I'm going to, harm myself, especially in a country whereby the medical wise is just another thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, me and this guy, we were just chilling, just having fun, having drinks, and then this Arab dude came and, he started, coming and started kind of spitting over my friend. I was like, dude, back off, because I mean, just because you've got Mopo doesn't necessarily mean that you can start, playing around and stuff like that, And he was actually the whole, he was basically just constantly trying to, just aggregate, aggravate my friend. I was like, dude, man, back the hell up, because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna get pissed. And the thing is, especially situations like that, I actually have a temper. I really hate oppression because I mean, you feel like because you've actually come with the mopole or whatever else, you feel you can actually come and intimidate me and my friend, and that situation ain't gonna right. So it was like, oh yeah, I can do anything to you. I can, and I was actually boiling because at this point in time, I was literally going to cause a scene. And at that point in time, I would not care because I really, really hate. And the thing is, for me, I actually hate it, especially, when it's a foreigner actually coming to do that in my own country. I really dislike that because I mean, I just feel the disrespect because you feel like if I go to your country, I can't do that, or if I do that, I'll probably get arrested, or I'll be jailed or something
Mm-hmm.
because there's rule of law in that country, wherever I'm actually stepping into. But
Mm.
when they're now in Nigeria, because they know there's no rule of law and everything is going to favor them because for whatever reason they're bringing in the money or whatever, you know, I actually get frustrated. And I just so much dislike that situation. So I can actually relate to your story and those girls' story because I mean, I was just feeling they came to actually have fun. They paid
Mm-hmm.
for the space, you know, however much they paid for their space. If it
Mm-hmm.
was a situation whereby the club actually said, okay, your time is actually, you know, you've run out of time. So you probably, we need to either move you to somewhere else so that someone else can actually occupy that space. At least inform them. Yeah. But it doesn't even seem
Mm-hmm.
like that was the case. You know, it didn't even seem like that was the case at all. It was a situation whereby these guys just came in and just felt like they can just oppress these girls and just keep on, as you said, spraying them money to feel like, oh, we are big men, you know.
Mm.
And then whatever we actually do, you probably end up, going back with us. That is the bottom line. That is just the bottom line, you know. And the thing is, when you were actually telling the story on your video, I was watching it, and I was just like, you talked about the club owner, and I was like, Gloria, at least come on now, at least the club owner is actually admitting that he's wrong or stuff. At least he apologized. This is me actually, giving the club manager benefit of the doubt till I actually heard what he was actually saying. And then I went crazy. I went ballistically crazy. I was like, what the hell is this sort of apology? What the hell is this? Is this actually him actually acknowledging that, something actually, there's nothing in that whatever I don't even call it an actually apology, but whatever that video was, there was nothing in it to actually acknowledge that, okay, you know what, we've called the police, we've acknowledged the police, we've given the police these people's details so that they can be arrested. Nothing of whatsoever. And as you said rightly, he was just running his mouth to actually make it look like at least the club is saying something so that when people
Mm.
come for him, he just said, well, I put out a response. That is all he's
Mm.
just looking at,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And at the end of the day, I just feel like that club is probably used as a money laundering scheme with Ceemore, because obviously, you've got a club there, you've got this so-called big man you're friends with, he's in the money, well, hey, whatever is actually getting his money from, don't know. But it could be used as a money laundering, thing with the club owner, who knows? And hence the reason why they probably got that relationship. Like, don't spoil my market. So if you spoil my market,
Mm-hmm.
what's actually coming into the club, you won't be seeing it, and hence the reason why the club owner couldn't really do much because his eyes are tied, you know. Hence, also the police. I don't even know what sort of interrogation that was. I've never seen this country as bad as this, you know. I've never seen this country as bad as this. Something which is so blatant, which is so kind of obvious. There are so many weaknesses narrating the same thing those girls were actually saying. Yet you decided to ignore all those, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then you are still kind of saying, oh, you're asking the guy questions and he's denying it. And most of 90% of those people there, who are the weaknesses, were saying you are there. You're the one that actually held the bottle
Mm-hmm.
and broke it on her head.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't actually understand. The police at the moment, they are so corrupt, they are so in bed with criminals, you know, and you just wonder, where is this country actually going to? Where is it actually going to? Because I mean, I
Easy.
can't for my life, I cannot for my life actually understand how a case so simple, which would actually produce some sort of, evidence to actually say, this is what actually happened. Especially with the CCTV, you cannot for my life tell me that you run out of storage or it doesn't work on Wednesdays. I mean,
Wait, it's this.
what sort of operation are these people actually running? At least get your facts right. If you're coming to lie on to us, we so-called gullible Nigerians, at least get your facts right. Stick to one story. Yeah, stick to one story so that we can say, okay, let's drag you on this one rather than, so which one is, oh, it doesn't work on Wednesdays. And then the next thing is, oh, it does, it works on Wednesdays, but we ran out of storage.
This is storage.
What? I mean, seriously. And the thing is, you see, the most amazing thing is, I'm into IT, so I know all these things. The problem,
Please
the
tell
problem
us.
is when you set up a CCTV, when you set up CCTV, yeah, the fact of the matter is you set it up whereby when you're getting to like 10% of the storage being filled, you probably delete, probably like you can actually say keep 21 days or keep 1 month, So the storage would never ever be filled up because if it's actually filling up, you actually go back and say, well, when it's recording the next one and it says, oh, there's only 10% left of storage, there's an instruction within the CCTV to actually state and say, delete the previous 21 video or delete the 14 video. So you're never running out of space. It's a continuous thing. So you keep the last 30 days worth of CCTV. You keep the last 30 days worth of CCTV. So if the storage is actually getting full, on day 31, it will delete day one. If you go to the next day, like on day 1 of the new month, it will delete day 2 of the previous month. That is how CCTV works. Which one is you've run out of storage? I mean, seriously, come on. Come on, This is just clear oppression on those girls. It's just clear oppression on those girls. And I just feel so bad. And listen, Glory, I want to beg of each and every one on this platform. If you're either in Nigeria or from Nigeria, I'm begging each and every one of you. This is something I personally am actually going to do. There's something going around in the moment with Nigeria. The next election is 2027. It's stated rig and die. Rig and die. So if you're going to rig the election, then something actually has to give. I am actually coming back to Nigeria to actually cast my vote. Yeah, it might not make a difference, but I know that if we keep these people in power, it's going to even get worse. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Yeah, it's never ever going to get better. So I'm actually begging any young person out there, any people who actually are not thinking of voting in 2027, please, I'm begging you all, come when the PVC portal needs to be open, get your PVC and make sure you cast your vote for 2027 because it's going to be a do or die affair. We have to save Nigeria as a country. We cannot keep on going like this. It cannot just keep on going like this at all. As I said, I'm actually going to fly into Nigeria on that day to actually come and cast my vote because I cannot see this. This is just, I'm just so frustrated. Everything is just going completely wrong. An hour ago, there was a bombing, suicide bombing in Borno State. Today, about an hour ago. And the same hour ago, there was another suspect bombing or whatever in Kano State. Killed about 20 people. Killed about I think like in Borno State, I think like about 20 people were killed, and in Kano, I think about 5 people were killed. This is also there's something else actually happened today in Plateau State, whereby people were in the bus and this allegedly they said some youths actually stoned people in the bus, and now you see the thing is the country is just coming to a mess. And what's our president actually doing? He's going on a vacation to St. Lucia very soon. That's how serious. Listen, you know what? I'm just begging each and every one, whether you're Nigeria or from Nigeria, who's living abroad, we need to save this country. Otherwise, if we don't save this country by 2027, whatever we are seeing now, even though as bad as it is, just rule out whatever it is. It's just going to be crazy afterwards. You think this is bad now? Listen, come after 2027. After 2027, remember, the president is now going to complete his next 4 years. So he doesn't even need to do anything at all. He doesn't need to worry because as far as he's concerned, he's going to do his 8-year term. So he can, listen, the country can burn as much as he wants. Yeah. But we, the people, we need to stop that. We need to really stop that. And I'm begging you, please, Glory, yeah, somehow, let's try and use your platform to those who's also watching this BB Niger or whatever, in some sort of way, let's capture their attention also to actually advise them that, listen, this is also very important. BB Niger is actually an entertainment. Yes, I watch it. I get entertainment from it. But at the same time, the youth and those well-meaning Nigerians who are actually concerned about Nigeria, they too themselves, they need to also not get distracted by all these things which is actually happening. That's all I want to say. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Mr. A, for putting out this reminder. I mean, what you've said, I've been acting it out, on my own part. And as you rightly said, it's something I've actually put in mind to do as well. I noticed that a lot of people, they don't want to talk about it. And in a way, I don't really blame them because, as I think I mentioned this on my last 2 videos, that they claim that Nigeria is a democracy, but the truth is it is not in its entirety. Freedom of expression is quite expensive. You think you can talk, you talk, but before you know it, you hear that people are looking for you, or maybe they're looking for your family, or maybe you get implicated one way or the other. They just bring up some very nonsensical dirt on you. You don't know, but I mean, you must have seen what's going on social media, in the news. Look at Senator Natasha. She spoke up for herself, and look at where she is right now. Imagine the whole federal government is actually suing her to court, and the way they're attacking her from left, right, and center. So it makes you wonder who is safe in this country. If a whole senator, a female senator for that matter, is being subjected to this kind of treatment. I mean, nobody is saying that her allegations are actually true because we have not really seen all the evidence yet. But what we are talking about is a free and fair trial on that case. Then if she is lying, let's her be punished according to the law. That's all what we're asking for. But look at what's going on, So yes, you're absolutely right. Of course, this community would definitely remind people of the need to vote for the right candidates. The truth is, and this is a sad truth, at the moment, so many things are happening, but all the politicians are all mostly concerned about 2027. Most of them, they're not really looking at all of these institutions. I mean, yes, leadership is bad, but just like we're discussing here today, there are so many other institutions that are bad. The people are their own institution too, that also determine the direction of the leadership. If Nigerians as a whole are actually very serious about moving this country ahead, there should be no reason why they know the truth about these politicians. But because of what they stand to gain, what they stand to benefit, they are sycophants all around. And also, there's also tribalism that plays a major role. They look at the area of, oh, this person is from my village, this person is Yoruba, this person is Igbo, this person is Hausa. I don't care if the Hausa man is not fit to rule this country or to lead us. So long as this person is Hausa, or so long as this person is Igbo, so long as this person is Yoruba, I'm going to vote for the person. That's another problem. So Nigeria as a whole needs a complete overhaul. The orientation needs a complete overhaul. Tribalism plays a huge role. There's also the issue of BIGMANISM, which is what we are discussing today. Look at what this guy Ceemore did. But it's like even the Nigerian police is kind of reluctant to do the needful. They're going to talk about procedures, but why do procedures take so long to be complete in this country? So these are all of these issues. I believe that if we as a people vote for the right people that are actually suitable for the role of leading this country, then from then onwards, even the National Assembly, there needs to be a complete overhaul, because those ones too, it's like anything the president wants is what they do. There's no deliberate deliberation of most of the bills that are brought to them. So a lot of things are just completely wrong, But then again, thank you so much for what you suggested. I would definitely put out this reminder as much as possible, for people to take the 2027 elections serious. So thank you so much, Mr. A.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glory. I mean,
All
one thing I've
right.
just got to say is, just imagine those girls were Wiki's daughter. What do you think would have been the situation right now?
Sorry, I missed what you said.
I said, just imagine if those girls were Wiki's daughter. What do you think would have been the situation right now? Do you think we'll be talking about any of this as it is? Do you think,
Mr.
we'll be, as much as that guy's Mr. Big Man or whatever, seriously, do you think that we'll be in this situation where we actually, that guy will be
he will become a small man.
He'll be a small man.
He would even disappear. Nobody will hear about Ceemore anymore. Who is he?
That's what I'm saying, because the thing is, at the end of the day, if it was Wike's daughters that was actually brutally beaten like that, yeah, I'm telling you, you see this matter, it will be resolved with that guy probably 6 feet under. That's how it's going to be resolved.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you're right. Wike has a daughter. I think he has a daughter and 2 sons. Who are you? You cannot even try it. You cannot.
And do you think the police do you think the police would actually be coming up and asking you questions? Oh,
Mr. You know what we said now? That the laws of this country is solely for the higher ups. See, when a big man is involved, it will shock you how active the law works. I have seen it with my 2 eyes. It will shock you how active the law works. It will shock you how active the police works. See, the police will be waking you up by 4 a.m. in the morning. They are giving you results. When a big man is involved, I am telling you. It's that crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, crazy. Thank you so much, Glory. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much for that apt reminder. I hope people are aware and will do the needful. All right. Before I move on to David, I just want to quickly thank AB for giving a token to this channel. AB, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Erica says she still has issues with Erica. I don't even know what to do at this point, but I'm going to look into it. All right. I can't really give attention to it right now because the live stream is ongoing. All right. But I think you should try being logged on to YouTube first. All right, try logging on to YouTube and see what happens from there. Okay, but yeah, thank you so much for all the efforts that you're making. Thank you so much. Okay, David, you're welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. I wish Mr. A, well, I'm happy Mr. A just spoke. Actually, he and everyone else that has spoken, they spoke my mind really. Let me start with that. Where he stopped from, the awareness about politics and how it interfaces with our lives. For some reason, some people just believe that it's their thing. I'm not going to involve myself in politics. It's dirty, so I'm just not going to show up. Well, that is very wrong. Politics is the reason why you have light in your house or you do not have light in your house. Politics is the reason why when you go to the market and you want to buy something, and the price was $100 or 100 naira, and it's now 500 naira. It's politics. So if you think that you are somehow isolated from it, I'm sorry, you are not. You are not insulated from the problems of politics. It will come and meet you in your house. It will rob you of your joy. The other thing though is, and I know we didn't have time. I didn't have time to talk to Mr. A like a banter, right? But another thing is this. It's good to want to come in, fly in, vote, and I know they're even trying to do something like you can vote if you're in the diaspora, right? Maybe they can get that vote. By the way, I've seen where the diaspora vote was enough to tilt an election in medicine, in one of the universities in Nigeria, where they allowed diaspora votes, and that vote, the year they allowed it, someone who has never had a chance to win won, right? But here's the deal. Well, when I said banter with Mr. A, what I meant is this. Um, your choice is as good as the options you have in front of you. So if you are faced with two sides of a coin, you are still faced with the coin. So if you're faced with, I don't know if you get what I'm saying, right? It doesn't matter. This is if you understudy the Nigerian politics, you will realize quickly that it doesn't have ideologies. The parties don't have ideologies. So it's not like maybe if you're in the UK, for example, and someone says I'm a Labour Party person or I'm conservative, they know what you stand for, right? If you're in the US and you say you're Democrat or Republican, they know what they know a little bit of what you're saying. But in a situation where one guy has been in 7 parties, he was in, you don't even know, you're laughing. I'm just telling you, this is the reality, right? Is that they don't have any, there are no principles. The people that call themselves progressives, are they really progressive? I don't know that. So I don't want you to buy that ticket, fly in, only, and I like the dedication, the commitment, right? And I'm hoping that they won't snatch your ballot box in where you actually went to vote, right? But you're laughing. I'm just trying to be very real here. It's so tough that the options they're giving you, I mean, in your mind, Glory, right? In your mind, every president right, from 1999, for example, right? Every subsequent one, when the president is president, everybody say this person's not doing well. When the next one comes, they now say the one that left is actually better than the one that was there before. Like, it does not. I don't even know. So here's my take on that. So I leave that issue, right? You cannot. What is the fundamentals of government, right? There's a social construct where there's a social agreement, like a contract between the citizenry and the people that they're leading or lording or ruling or showing leadership over, right? And one of those, and what does that thing say? It says that I as your leader, you know me, trust me to be your leader, and I'll provide security for you, and I'll make sure you can live your life and get aspire to be whatever you want to do. Now, if you break that contract, which has been broken in Nigeria several times, like I don't even know any time that's not been broken, right? Then why should I keep my part of the bargain? I don't know if you get what I'm saying, right? I should not. The issue is you can't solve a problem when the system itself is faulty.
True.
The system, the framework of the country is the constitution of the country. And in the country called Nigeria, right, the 1999 constitution, it was actually a carryover of the military constitution. Again, today I'm speaking like a lawyer now, right? I'm just saying, right? So, and I'm telling you that constitution did not allow, people did not have a voice to make their constitution. In the US, the constitution the United States Constitution is just one document. It's a single document with amendments, with 27 amendments, 10 first Bill of Rights. I'm talking of the US Constitution is just one document. The Nigerian Constitution is a lot of pages. Like and the problem is those pages do not do justice because it's not the people that determine that constitution. It was forced through their throats, and so if I was not involved in formulating something, I don't. Of course, it might not have been done with me in mind, right? So that means that any time it must have been done to give some people an advantage. And those people that are having the advantage are the same people we're talking about BIGMANISM and all the. It's the same people. It's the same people all the time. So it doesn't matter how you twist that thing. Whether you go to this place or go to that place, this party or that party, you're going to still meet that same problem, right? And the person that talks about Ibrahim Traore, Ibrahim Traore is doing great stuff in Burkina Faso. Very dark man is running his head here in Nigeria, right? But at the end of the day, Burkina Faso is not Nigeria. I'm just telling you the truth. Nigeria has over 350 tribes. To begin, let's start there, right? So you don't have that in Burkina Faso. So what happens somewhere else? You need a different approach, but you have to start with the constitution. Let's end there. Why I came back to call, why I called back was, when I went off the last time, and I was thinking about it, I actually put myself in the shoes of Ceemore.
Hmm.
So I was like, maybe let's assume I'm Ceemore. So I know, Glory, you and I don't like him, right? You don't like Ceemore or what he did. I don't like Ceemore or what he did, right? Now, but why would I be happy? What made me get to that point where I think I can do that and I can get away with it, right? If you play Ceemore's live in front of you, like a Nollywood script or a Hollywood script, right? You will see and I might be embellishing what I'm saying, right? You will see someone who maybe is the only child, or is the
Hmm.
only boy, is the only male in his family, you know, or Mr. A, I agree that you're a good last born, but let's assume he's the last born in his family. You know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to. I know it doesn't apply to everyone, right? And
Hmm.
and he has been, and he grew up somewhere in Port Harcourt or around the environs of Port Harcourt in River State, and he's used to this mindset that's right from childhood that the male child is the child, the female
Hmm.
child is nothing, right? And he has probably maltreated females, or they've taken his sides when there was an argument with him and a female in the past,
True.
right? He has the entitlement that's been going on. Tying this now, he's in his teens, or he was a troublemaker or not in school. We don't know that. He's probably one of the people that the politicians in River State used to get their to get a like when they try to disrupt things. That's why they cannot come to him, because he's one of their
Hmm.
tools, right? So that why will I have so much confidence? That's why I'm just giving you the picture here, right? This guy
Yeah.
believes that he has walked his he had earned that respect. I
Hmm.
don't. By the way, I don't agree with anything I'm saying. I'm just saying this is you putting yourself in his shoes, right? Every
It's
point
possible.
I'm saying, every point I'm saying is the red flags that has to be brought down. If you want to stop this thing from happening in the future, if you want to prevent it, right, it's all these red flags. Maybe one or two of those police officers are on his payroll, you know, that's part of the story. He pays them, and they can't. If I pay you, then you can't do anything to me, So I'm not even going to go into maybe it's in a cultism, and some of these people are in cultism. They're in the same cult. You
True.
don't just think that these things are just what you see by the eyes. Again, I'm trying to be balanced here. There are lots of reasons why someone will get to that point where it's on tape. If the CCTV cameras were not, they were working, you were using bottles to break people's heads, and then you were saying that I was not even there at all. And when they showed a picture of you behind, because they now showed him that, oh, you are there, then of course that is that for the fact that you lied, we can't trust your stuff again.
Hmm.
But then you still went ahead to say, well, yes, I was there, but someone else, the people were the ones that were pissed off about me and they fought on my behalf. Well, I'm sorry, you are not Jesus Christ, and these people are not Peter or something that So that I'm just so in a nutshell, a lot of things made the guy get to where he is. And there are many people like that in that country. And not just that country, Africa, the world generally, where entitlement has become the order of the day. And
True.
and I know it's a rare cases, but there are cases where the female may be the one in that picture. So imagine if you said Wiki has a daughter, right? So imagine if
Hmm.
Wiki's daughter, a guy hits Wiki's daughter on the face. That's the end in River State.
Hmm.
That guy is screwed over. So again,
Hmm.
also not what I'm trying to get at is it's really, even not really a gender thing. It's a connection, wealth, gender, yes, because of male, but really it's not. That guy just feels is above those ladies. I was even thinking he was going to say something like, I was drunk. I'm in the club. I
Hmm.
was drunk. So my actions, I was not really thinking straight. No, he didn't say that. So he was thinking straight, right? And he can't feign insanity. He can't say he has bipolar or something. No, he's the same guy. So it has to be that all these things added up to the point where he feels is more of a person than those people. And that's where we are. How do we fix this problem? I don't know. I mean, you got to go back from all those red flags, from how you train. Don't make a female child feel less than a male child. Start from there. Don't make the rich feel that they have some extra thing more than the. See, at the end of the day, if you're in the hospital, right, and you've written death certificate for patients, right, when a patient dies in front of you, they bleed, the same blood runs in everyone. What I mean is, a rich man has red blood, a poor man
Mm-hmm.
has red blood.
No, they think it's gold
There
blood.
is no, yeah, there, there is no difference in what happens to you at the end of the day. That's what I'm saying. Like, you,
Mm-hmm.
even the president of the country right now, the day he dies, I'm not praying for anyone to die, he's going to be, it's still the same red blood that's going to come out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you realize that man is at the end, no matter what you are, you've achieved in life or you've not achieved in life, the finality is the same, right? So why will you
Mm-hmm.
carry that thing? It has to be that someone failed in your upbringing. Your upbringing was wrong, or they brought you up, but you didn't just want to learn. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. So let me just keep quiet here. So at the end of the day,
You know what?
yeah.
Before, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet because whilst you were speaking, I just remembered something that is also very rampant in Lagos. Now, I don't know
Okay.
if you visited Lagos before, or
I
maybe
have. I have. I have. I have. I have.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. I have.
Surely you are familiar with the bus drivers and the those agberos on the road that collect money from the bus
Correct.
drivers
Yes.
at
Yes. Yes.
every
I
bus
am.
stop, right? Now,
Correct.
if you drive through the Lekki Epe Expressway, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
whether you are riding in a public bus or whether you are driving in a private bus, there's something
Yeah.
that happens. You see all those last mile officials, the uniformed men in orange or yellow
Yellow. Yeah.
uniform shirts, that they are gathered at every traffic light or at every bus stop. If you watch closely, you see something that happens. When there is traffic, you would think that there's one crazy traffic that's actually happening. Guess what causes the traffic most of the time? You see the public buses here?
Yeah.
When they are driving, now they are supposed to park at the right shoulder, the right hand shoulder of the road.
Shoulder of the
That's
of
where they're
the road.
supposed to
Okay.
stop. Yeah, that's where they're supposed
Mm-hmm.
to stop and pick on their passengers, right? But
Okay.
guess what? Right from the middle lane, that's the middle lane of the road, of the
Mm-hmm.
expressway,
Mm-hmm.
all the way down to the right shoulder, which they call the service lane, that is where they park. So what now happens is once the traffic light turns green or whatever, every other bus that is coming from whichever direction, you have to now squeeze yourself and pass the
The
left
left
lane,
lane.
only that
The
one
last
lane.
of.
Yeah. So it causes a terrible traffic there. Now, guess what happens? The uniformed officials, they see what's going on. That these bus drivers and the agberos that are collecting money for them, they see that they are the cause of the traffic. That's the
Traffic.
cause
Yeah.
of that gridlock there. But guess
Yeah.
what? They look away. They don't say anything.
Hmm.
They keep
I'm
quiet.
not.
So you've noticed, great. So I have asked questions several times, especially maybe sometimes I try to use Uber and I questioned the Uber driver. I was like, oh, what's going on? Why is this thing all like? He was like, oh, the consensus response I have gotten is that the person that is in charge of those agberos, the person sometimes owns most of those public buses.
Hmm.
So it's like they are a no-go area. They have this sort of protection over them. Say, for instance,
Wow.
now there's the traffic light. Traffic light is on red, and everybody on this side have to stop for other cars to go by. You will notice that whilst everybody is stopping, the bus drivers, they are flying past. They are going.
Yeah.
Nobody is holding
Yeah.
them. But
Yeah.
you that is a private driver, the moment you decide to go crazy and cross,
Oh,
beat
you
that
will
traffic
be.
light,
You'll be. Oh, your face. You will be in the news.
yeah,
you.
they'll catch you.
They will
They'll
catch
catch
you, right?
you.
Oh God. It's
That's it.
it's it. Oh my God. So
So
conflicts of
that's what
interest.
happens.
Yeah. So conflict of interest. Not separating things. It's just it's part of corruption. At the end of the day, everything here. Uh, every year they just really forget about Israel. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. So conflict of interest happens all the time. I'm not surprised what you just said, right? See, because they know their boss is the one that owns those two places, they can misbehave. If you
Mm-hmm.
go somewhere, right, Glory, if you go to a place, have you not noticed this that let's assume you're trying to go visit someone or in the office, right? The gate man, the guy who stands at the gate, he's going to be using that office he has, like, oh, you have to come pass through me because this
Mm,
is my office. You're laughing. This is how petty. This is how ingrained this issue of bigmanism is. It's everyone is pointing fingers at the president, and all of them are corrupt. Let me just tell you now, right? All of them are corrupt. But I'm telling you that even the person the next guy, your neighbor, is also corrupt. Even the other person is playing bigmanism to you. Even the gate man is trying to say you have to. If you don't settle me, I'm not going to allow you to enter into. Where does it end? That's my. I don't know. It's different if an issue is something that can be fixed by a law. This one cannot be fixed by a law. I'm sorry. This is ingrained. This is something that is now part of people. I don't even know what to say. It's everywhere you turn. Every specialty, every discipline, every office, like you said, now on the road, everywhere you go, someone somewhere is using their power to oppress someone else. That's why I go back to what I said earlier. There are just two categories of people: the oppressed and the oppressor. The most painful thing is sometimes the oppressed, right? When they now get to the power place of authority, right? They become the oppressor. They sort of join. Can you imagine someone that you think, oh, if this person becomes the president of Nigeria, for example, oh, this country is going to get a breakthrough. I'm just saying, can you imagine? No, just imagine that scenario, right? And everyone is like, oh, this is the Ibrahim Traore of Nigeria. Oh, this guy is beyond this. But you know what? Do not be surprised that if that person gets to Aso Rock, that same person, and I'm not saying there's something in Aso Rock that changes people's mindset, but that same person is just going to, you'll be like, what the hell is going on? And that's because the framework, people don't put the cart before the horse. In this issue here, the issue is not the individual. The issue is the system is bringing those individuals. So even if you're a good person, do you know of cases where someone wants to go to? I know in the university, I know of one case of a professor who became the head of department, HOD, and he was going to become the dean, right, faculty dean, and they had to give him tea and of course he died, because they know that if this guy gets there, he's not going to play a game. So at the end of the day, the person there, if you're going to finally get some, this is the last thing I'm going to say. In NYSC, right, Benue State, right, at Otubo to be precise, so in Domas, right. I was there for a while, right, and you know how NYSC has batch A, batch B, how they have those batches, right? That year there was a batch C. The year I did mine there was a batch C, right? So, and for some very funny reasons, even though I was in clinic, the doctors don't have time and all that, something happened and they made me the CLO. You've done NYSC, right? You've done NYSC, so you know when they say CLO, right? So they made me the CLO. So I had to tell the other doctor that, hey, I have to be seeing the welfare of the other, report to the ZI, and all that, right? You won't believe, when I went to see the next batch that came after mine, and I went to see them, right? The schools where they were teaching, right? The schools where they were teaching, the principals of those schools in Benue State were telling me things that I could not, I left my mouth open. So I'm not talking of the so-called leaders of tomorrow now. When you say, give chances to the youth. That youth, the youth I was seeing was corrupt. People were not going to classes to teach, and they were making sure that they get paid. And they were saying that there were some students there were two boys. They sent them to a Catholic only girls school, and they were sleeping with almost all the girls. And then I had to intervene. So I'm just trying to tell you that corruption is deep. This is way back now. So I don't. At this point, I don't know. Let's just keep going. But just remember, I'll end by saying the oppressed versus the oppressor. But unfortunately, the system moves that oppressor. When the oppressor gets to the place of authority, he becomes the oppressed. When the junior student in GS1, GS2 becomes a senior and becomes a prefect, that same person begins to met out. This is how you know that this thing does not end. The same person that was complaining in GS1, GS2, and GS3, I'm going to keep quiet now. I got to go. I got to run. Let's just end it there.
It's a vicious circle. Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. All right, guys. Let's speak with Erica. Erica, you're welcome. How are you?
Hi, Glory. How
Erica.
are you?
I am fine. You're welcome. How are you? How are you
Thank
doing?
you. Thank you. I just actually I didn't want to comment on what you guys are talking. I just wanted to clarify about the super chats
Oh, okay.
because I don't get it right. I have been trying to support you, but I can't get it right. There was a dollar sign before. But now
Yeah.
the dollar sign disappeared. And when I was in SA, it appeared there was a dollar sign, but now it doesn't. And when I was clicking on it, before when I was clicking on it, it always said it's not in your country or something like that.
Oh, which country are you based?
Namibia.
Namibia. I'm not. Wow, that's quite
Yes.
strange. Because I can actually see it here on mine. I mean, I can see it here. I just clicked on the dollar sign and I can see super stickers and super chat. Maybe it's probably not available in your country, but I'm gonna check. All right. I'm gonna check after the live stream. I would do my
Please do. That's
researches.
why I said check. Please do.
Okay, I will. I will. But thank you for
Yeah.
letting me know.
And then
This is the first
let
time
me
I'm
know
actually
because
hearing.
I and then let me know because it's not enough for me to be at the background and support you. I want to support you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like
I really
support.
appreciate it. No, I really appreciate
Yeah.
that. So here's what I would do. I'm not sure if it's available in your country or not, but I would check. All right. And whatever I find out, after the live stream, I would put a comment in the comment section and I'll pin it so that you see the comment. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would do my
I will
findings. I'm not
appreciate that.
sure, but I'll do that. Yeah, but thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Otherwise, we will talk and then I will support you in other ways then. If we can't get it
That
on
is
super
fine.
chat, then we'll do something else.
That is much appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Sweetheart,
you.
sleep well. My
All
sis,
right.
actually,
Thank
you
you.
are my sister.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Bye.
Take care. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. I don't know if there's anybody else that wants to contribute to the conversation, but I think I've actually expended my energy on this conversation for today. I was really, really upset, and I really just could not wait to vent, and I have done that. And guys, thank you so much for listening, and to everybody that contributed as well. Thank you so much, David, Queen Omo, Happy. Mr. A, I appreciate all of you for contributing to the conversation. And I really do hope that everything that we've said, I really do hope that it makes an impact in this matter. I really do hope. I don't just want us to just talk. I really do hope that anybody that is watching this live stream right now, or probably comes across this live stream later, that they hear all we have said and they do something out of it. I am very, very particular about compensation for those girls. I'm very, very particular about compensation for those girls. I'm very, very particular about their safety, their well-being, in fact, their general well-being. I'm very particular about it. And that Ceemore of a guy, he must pay. He must pay for it. I'll list it out again. And these are my demands. Yes, I know that I probably am nothing in the grand scheme of things, but I'm just going to put it out there just in case it gets to their ears. The money that those girls spent to pay for that space, the fact that this Ceemore and his cohort, they disrupted the fun of those girls, it means that their money has gone down the drain. Ceemore has to pay back that money. That's number one. Number two, he needs to pay for the medical checkup of all of those girls that they beat up. I noticed that from one of the videos, the man that maybe they broke his head too, they need to pay for everybody that was affected, everybody that got injured, everybody that was beaten up. They need to take care of all of those people's medical expenses. It is a must. If the police wants to do their job satisfactorily, Ceemore and his cohorts, they must pay for it. That one that Ceemore said travel to the UK. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it would be too much to ask that a message is sent to the UK government or embassy to, throw that person back to Nigeria, like kick him back to Nigeria. If truly that person left Nigeria, kick that person back to Nigeria. Send a message to the government that that person almost killed people. So they should kick him back. He is wanted in Nigeria. They should throw him back like a ball. Fire him back to this country. He should come and answer for his crimes. That is another thing I'm asking for. And then the CCTV footage from Blackbox Night Club. All that thing that the owner is going around talking about, that making TikTok videos, it is gibberish if he does not produce the CCTV footages. Because it will mean that he's an accomplice to that crime. That is a crime. If he does not provide those footages, it only means that he's an accomplice. So he has to provide it. If he doesn't, the club needs to be shut down. Then finally, no, not even finally, Ceemore, this is another demand. The Ceemore, his friends that beat up those girls, and the Mopos. I believe that the Mopos, they probably, I don't know if they have their own disciplinary measures in their, wherever they are, wherever they belong to. If they have their own disciplinary measures, let them be disciplined over there. But you see that Ceemore and his friends, they must be locked up. I'm not saying they should be. They must be locked up. The way a common Nigerian will be treated in a case like this, Ceemore and his friends, they must be treated the same way. The law has to work. You cannot make laws that only the rich people, the affluential, will be benefiting from. They must be locked up. And as they are locked up, they need to be paying for all of these things. The health checkups, the treatment. David said that that girl should have done a CT scan by now. All of those things need to be taken into account. Ceemore must pay for all of those things. He and his friends, since they are going around Port Harcourt shouting, "Do you know who I am? Oga, come and prove who you are. Come and spend that money and pay for all of these things." And then my final request is that the Ceemore and those his friends, if they've been moving around River State with security protocols, they should be stripped of all of those security protocols because they do not deserve it. The people that deserve security are the common people that are getting brutalized here and there. See, people of Benue, people in Plateau State, people in Borno State. In fact, Sambisa Forest, they need more security. There are other Nigerians that actually need more security. Not Ceemore, not people like Ceemore and his friends. They do not deserve that kind of security. Aliko Dangote, Tony Elumelu, I'm sure that they have security, but I have never heard with my 2 years since I was born that these people will go around harassing and oppressing regular Nigerians. They are billionaires, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. But I've never heard of them going around harassing people. So who the hell is this Ceemore of a guy? A local champion that you think you believe that you have power, you have affluence, you don't know what to do with it, other than going into a nightclub to terrorize innocent young women that came out there to spend their own money. He needs to be stripped of all of those security protocols that he's going around with. I don't care who gave them to him. He needs to be stripped of all of those security protocols. Because if you'll be carrying such security around, you should be using it for good, to protect people around you, other than going to use it to brutalize and oppress people. That is barbaric, animalistic, the lowest of behaviors of animals. Was what they actually portrayed in that club. So I'm actually really hoping that this case, we hear something positive. I'm actually really hoping that this is not just one of those Nigerian cases where one element, one nonsense, useless element will do something to an ordinary Nigerian, and because the person knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody in Aso Rock, or that knows somebody that knows somebody in one place or the other, the person walks away scot-free. I am really hoping that this is not just one of those cases. Very Dark Man was showering accolades on, I don't know if it's the CID of police in Port Harcourt. I don't know who the person is. I have to go and listen to that video again correctly. But he has been showering accolades on this particular man, and I want to give benefit of doubt that that man is going to stand out, that he's going to bring justice for those girls, that he's going to do the right thing and not be compromised. Because that's the problem here. The moment money exchanges hands, we might not hear of this case anymore. So I'm really praying that this case is not just one of those cases. And then finally, I am really hoping that as these girls have complained that they are getting threats from Ceemore's people, his family, his friends, and maybe loyalists or whoever the F they are, that the police get the phone numbers of those people that have been threatening those girls, trace them, and arrest them. I'm saying this because if a common Nigerian now just do one thing, before you know it, the way they will locate your house, you too, you'll be scared. And that is when you will know that, the Nigerian police really works so. The DSS in Nigeria really works so. EFCC really works so. Just do one thing, just commit one offense. So long as you are the child of a poor man, just commit one offense. The way they will locate you, you'll be shocked. You'll think it's witchcraft. So I believe very strongly that it will not remove one grain of air of anything from the heads of those police officers in Port Harcourt to locate those people that have been calling those girls and threatening their safety. Because enough is enough. This has been going on for the longest time. It should not continue. It should not be normalized. Otherwise, this country will turn into you do me, I do you. You touch me, I touch you. If you brutalize me, if I decide today that I want to kill you, I want to eliminate you, let me also do my own back. That is what this country will turn into. So I'm really hoping that this case is resolved the proper way that it should be. I'm really hoping. Otherwise, my mouth will not keep shut about it. I'll continue to talk about it. Even though I don't talk about it on my channel, I'll still be talking about it via other channels that I have. So I'm going to stop talking here right now because I think I've actually said a lot. We have actually said a lot, and we're hoping to get positive results. All right. Anyways, thank you all. Thank you all for joining today's conversation. Thank you for your contribution. For those that spoke, for those that shared in the comment section, I'm grateful for your presence here. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys. Okay, before I even sign off properly, people that have been asking me if I'm going to talk about Big Brother Nigeria reunion, I have been saying that yes, I will talk about it. I will talk about it. Yeah, I will talk about it. I'm not expecting much from it because we know the MO. We know that usually the reunion is filled with lies. So I'm not giving it too much hype. I'm not expecting anything. I do not have expectations. To be honest, I have no expectations. I'm not expecting any of those children to come out and say, oh, I did this. I'm not expecting anything. So whatever BB Nigeria production team decides to throw at us, I'm just going to watch. I'm going to talk about it. All right. But I don't have any single expectations. All right. So the truth is, I actually find it cringe when I put out serious videos like this, and I'm seeing comments where people are not even addressing the issues on those videos. Instead, they're coming to come and ask, Glory, we are waiting for BB Nigeria. I'm going to talk about. I'm sorry, but I find it cringe sometimes because I don't know. For me to put out a video talking about something like this that's happening in the country, it's because it is a dire need. It is a pressing need. And I need us to raise our voices together and talk about it. So I find it quite cringe, to be honest. It is very, very cringe when I put out such videos. I'm talking about something very serious, and somebody's like, "Oh, Glory, Are you going to talk about, you've not said anything about the reunion. Why haven't you said anything about the reunion? What is there to say about the reunion? There's nothing happening about the reunion just yet. Once the reunion is on our screens, we are going to see it. All right. So please, I'm speaking about this because time and place matters. All right. Anyways, that is all. Thank you all so much once again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching and bye.